What's your favorite scary movie?
This is HalloweenTown.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Beetlejuice.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
What is it you kids say these days? Not gonna let the man keep me down.
Hey, I know how to keep anybody down with my bloody axe.
Hey, with that, welcome everyone to this episode of the Cheap Seat Critics podcast, where we are back to HalloweenTown. We're doing the fourth and final HalloweenTown, Return to HalloweenTown.
So close.
Final! Woohoo!
Oh my god,
Maybe
almost there.
more, who knows?
Oh, come on, don't do that.
That would be lovely, I think.
I can't wait to be done. I just
Spoilers for your thoughts.
With
me today, we have...
Hello everybody, I'm one of your hosts, a geeky writer.
I'm Crimson Maroon. And I'm Sprinks. And hey, if you're listening from HalloweenTown yet again, you can find us over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and we have LetterBoxd with average out numbers and graphs of whatever we do. Oh, we also got TikTok, if you're interested in that. We got visual side of things over on YouTube and Rumble, but hey, maybe not your cup of tea, don't worry. We have tons of audio platforms where you can listen as well, where maybe you're listening to right now. Well stated. So, as mentioned, we're back in HalloweenTown, and it's an exciting time.
It is certainly a time.
Yeah, I'm excited. An aspect of such, but yeah.
I'm excited for the podcast. There we go.
There, that's something. All right, let's start with our histories, and we're going to go with Springs first. Sweet. I've seen this movie. Kind of difficult being a Disney Channel movie, so I've probably seen it on Disney Channel during October and whatnot. But I'd guess anywhere between 3 to 5 times. It's my best guess. And I've seen all the other HalloweenTown movies, and I know Crimson's the biggest HalloweenTown fan here because he watches like every year with his family. And I've never been roped into that, but I have. I have also never been to the location of HalloweenTown either, but I've seen photos of it and whatnot. And I think that's it. All right, let's go with writer next.
Yeah, so, I mean, long, illustrious history. Never heard of this franchise before we started it. Never, so obviously never seen this movie at all ever before, except for the podcast. So it's a fresher, as they say.
I like how when you didn't watch it years ago, when we watched the first one, you didn't marathon all of them?
God, no.
Franchise?
No.
No freaking way he did. I just like how writer goes, I've never heard of it until we started. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, yes. It's still an accurate statement, though, isn't it? Yeah, no, so yeah, I pretty much, once we started it for the podcast, I kept myself fresh, so I didn't binge anything, because I wanted to keep myself fresh for the podcast, yeah.
Took a lot of restraint. I know it was really hard for you not to binge through it, so I appreciate it.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I probably would have binged it if we weren't covering it.
That's surprising.
One of my friends values it, Crimson. Why wouldn't I want to watch it?
Sure. Good thing. We'll go with my history next. As Spring said, big fan of the franchise, even though it has its hiccups, and it mostly stems from the first one, like enjoying the franchise. But I also like Calamar's Revenge. You can check out our coverage for our reviews. But for this particular one, it is the last of the 4 of them. And when marathoning, we don't always make it to this one. Actually, we usually don't make it to this one. I've only seen this one 3 or 4 times. So not that much. Yeah, it's a movie. And different from last year. Last year for Halloween, I carved the HalloweenTown pumpkin when it was all scratched up and corrupted. So
That's
that was
cool.
my pumpkin. Yeah.
That's very
Can
cool.
we use that
sir.
photo?
Sure, if we can remember to do it. Yeah.
We
Do that. I have a
that'll be
photo
an
of it.
Instagram exclusive.
Any other histories that have cropped up before going into the facts section?
Well, you have a HalloweenTown sweater.
I guess so. I guess that is also an addition from last year. I do have a HalloweenTown sweatshirt.
That I gave you
do.
for Christmas?
Christmas. Yeah, that
So-
was the irony. You got me a Halloween shirt for Christmas. So yeah, I guess that is also a change from HalloweenTown Highs. I got a sweatshirt from Springs.
Okay. I guess not necessarily history, but a question. Are you wearing it right now?
Right now, I am shirtless.
Okay. All right.
That's okay, Crimson. I'm in my undies.
Oh well, there you go. You're one step ahead of me, I guess. I do have-
Woo! Gonna be a frisky episode.
Well, Springs. Now we need to know about you.
I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Yeah, no, I was joking. It's actually really cold where I am, so I am actually in pajamas. Just wanted to make Crimson feel better.
Okay. Oh man. All right. History. There's not too much history, and just like the previous
Facts.
two Halloween towns.
Facts.
Darn it! I did this like a couple recordings ago.
Man, we're already up to a great start. I love it.
Facts. Some interesting facts. There weren't many I could find, and like the previous two Halloween towns, there was no budget I could find, so nothing on that venture, and obviously no box office because it was made for TV movie. So we'll start with one of the big ones, and that's why Kimberly Brown did not reprise her role as Marnie, and it's not a very good answer. She wasn't approached and was not given a reason.
Oh,
It's rude.
oh,
my
it's
God.
so it's like replacing Cassie in Marvel, I guess.
Cassie?
Oh
Ant-Man's
yeah, she
daughter.
wasn't asked either.
Oh,
What was it?
interesting. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, Quantumania. It was Catherine Hahn. I would say Catherine Hahn. That's not it. I don't think.
It's
Anyway,
it's
yeah,
a
the
different
one
actress from the one that showed up in Endgame.
from Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was no reason. It was just the studio went a different direction was pretty much the answer. Didn't even get asked. And piggybacking off of that, I guess we'll go talk about Sophie's disappearance. The actress, whose name I didn't write down, but the actress for Sophie retired from acting between HalloweenTown High and this, so she didn't return because she retired from acting.
Sophie was
To do what?
Wow.
I
the
can't
younger
tell
sister,
yet,
right?
Yeah.
but yeah.
Wow, what a role to end on with HalloweenTown High.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a legacy. I mean, some people watch it every
Yeah,
year.
but like the whole thing is like, Sophie, you mind give us some room? Sure, and she leaves the room. That was like it.
There was not a lot of her in the previous one. But there was more than this one. She did get name dropped at least. Millicent Martin was originally cast to replace Debbie Reynolds as Agatha Cromwell. Millicent Martin being the
the teacher, right?
periwinkle, the teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they were too close for me not to like.
Yes, they were.
I'm like, why is she? I had a question like, why the hell she was so? She was too much like the grandmother. It threw me off.
It's because they were friends.
They were friends in real life, or at least acted together. Was originally cast to replace Debbie Reynolds due to scheduling conflicts, but Reynolds made some time to do the film, so they worked in this new teacher character. So yeah,
So
that
because
was
of
that.
Casting decision, they wrote in a different character.
At least
Interesting.
based off the blurb I saw, it didn't look like they didn't wrote that they retooled a character. They said they worked in a character. So like,
Interesting. Okay.
so I don't know I would imagine the story had to change a little bit to accommodate this new character. But I didn't find any details. On
Unless
that.
they want Grandma Aggie playing a teacher again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Aggie as a teacher again. Seeing her in an actual wizard school teaching would be cool. But then again, it might be similar because she's not supposed to use magic here either, just like the human school.
Yeah. What a bizarre rule. No, that's getting ahead. Okay.
It's a budget saver.
That is very true. It does save budget on the film. Not that there was much of a CG budget to begin with, but you know.
Unknown. Couldn't find it.
It's like what I've said with the previous ones. I feel like a lot of the budgets go into the costuming and the makeup.
Yeah. To build the world. Yeah. And
even though this one's very much like, we're all witches, so we just look like humans.
Well, see, the money went into the fantasy aspect.
The last fact we'll go with is there's a scene from the trailer that shows Marnie and Dylan showing ID to a pumpkin-headed horseman. That wasn't in the film. So, there you go.
Oh, wow. You need ID to get in that ice cream place?
Well, it's presumably for the library, for the books.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or, well, I guess it's
Since
more
the
of a...
magic is a whole regulation now.
Yeah, I guess it's a recent thing, but usually, like, you need an ID now just to get into a college campus.
Oh, that makes sense. Nowadays. And that would be it. Yeah. We're going with a popcorn structure. We can jump anywhere in the film with like beginning, middle, end, credits if you want. Have fun with that. And we will start with writer.
All right, I'll start with one of the, I guess one of the overarching topics of the film. It really bugged me that Marnie never figured out that Dylan was a student until like they were on campus and he was taking like a bag with him.
His whole
Like,
bag.
yeah, it bugged the shit out of me because Marnie should have noticed that, like, you know, all those bags were hers.
Of the four movies, this Marnie I think is the stupidest.
And that's a claim. Because Marnie hasn't been the most intelligent of characters out there.
But this one, she's not observant or like takes in others very well.
Mm-hmm.
No. The difference with this Marnie as well, I think, is Marnie's always been like whiny, but I think this one cranks it up a lot. This is a pretty whiny Marnie.
Yeah, they turned it into her like the defining character trait, and I didn't appreciate that.
It was once a facet, is now her as a whole.
Yeah.
And I guess on that topic, my point will be on the Dylan thing, is how quickly he got admitted to the school.
Oh yeah.
Because the mom said he had to go, which means the time she had to go to the school, he got accepted there. That's kind of wild.
My only thing about this is I think... See, I can actually read this a little bit into his character, so I guess I'll bounce it off of you guys. I am actually fine with Dylan having applied ahead of time and just using his mom as an excuse to make it seem like he didn't want to go at all. But as we find out, he
care about magic.
Well, that's the thing, right? Well, as we find out, he uses magic to study. So he does care about magic in just highly specific ways.
Yes, but it's also Dylan breaking the rules.
That's true.
Is that really Dylan thing to do?
But as he said, that's something he did at normal school all the time. That's how he was able to study and stuff like that.
Well, true. But at normal school, it was allowed.
Funny enough, yes.
I don't know. It's just weird that he would choose to go to school to learn the magic he already knows of speed reading.
Well,
because he doesn't care about the other stuff.
I don't think he's learning about speed reading. He's just using speed reading to learn other things.
Yeah, I think it would, yeah, like I said, I think I'm okay with it as far as his character is concerned. I think I just need a little bit more justification from him personally as to why he would give the excuse and put the onus on his mom.
And I guess to that point, I don't see anything in the movie that would imply he's lying or pushing it on his mom. I don't see why we
Yeah,
would read into that as not being a true statement.
yeah, I don't either. So then again, so if I'm going to take the movie at face value, it's a problem. And even if I'm going to try and extrapolate that it isn't a problem, it creates other problems.
And what makes it even worse, because I could be like, oh, it's a Cromwell, maybe they wanted him, but then the like teachers or the headmistress or whatever was like, who's
Who are
that?
you?
Yeah.
A thing again
Well-
where all the previous accolades of the Cromwells are just forgotten.
Oh, we only saved HalloweenTown like 3 times.
No, that doesn't matter. What does matter is that Ethan's father was a bad guy. We got to remind you that like 6 times in this movie.
Hey, maintaining continuity, all right? They acknowledged the stuff before, kind of.
Sort of.
Just feels like every scene he's in, you just got to be like, yeah, my dad did some bad things.
Yeah, like I said, one of the things. Okay, this is gonna be a different point now, but it's kind of adjacent to what you guys are saying, which is that I realized I don't like the fact that they're introducing like new Cromwell related like legacy stuff in the middle of like in the 4th movie, because we had like Aggie's house from HalloweenTown 1. We've had some of the other like Cromwell history stuff in the other films, but here is like, oh yeah, this entire school used to be the Cromwell Mansion or whatever, or
Well, it
Cromwell
wasn't important
Castle.
until they get closer to the 100,000 years or whatever.
The millennia
relevant
anniversary.
Yeah, it wasn't
1,000
relevant,
years.
but I feel like that's something Aggie would say. Oh yeah, by the way, our old house used to be the school. But it's not like it's not like an issue. It's more like just like I don't have a problem with it. It just feels like it just makes the world feel more small.
I guess so. Even, I mean, not necessarily saying our old house, just her old house. That's where she lived.
What's her castle?
Yeah, she used to be queen of HalloweenTown or whatever.
It's interesting how easily people forget things in HalloweenTown.
Yeah, is it like a
one
Narnia thing? Like, is time
recalls-
changing here, or
Well, they did establish that in HalloweenTown 1, that time is faster in HalloweenTown than on Earth. So 1,000 years in HalloweenTown is probably like a couple hundred on Earth or something. But we did a whole math thing in HalloweenTown 1. I don't remember what our conclusion was on that. But
I think our conclusion was it was nonsense.
it was
to be honest with you.
Yes, it was inconsistent. I remember that, but I don't remember our breakdown of attempting to rationalize the time difference or the speed of HalloweenTown's time.
I
'Cause
did
we
like.
try to figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, before I throw out another point, you should probably pick somebody else, Crimson.
Okay, Springs. Somebody else.
okay, something that is quite interesting for a Disney movie made in 2006. They make a comment about Spider-Man, about responsibility, and that stole that from Spider-Man. Disney did not acquire Marvel yet, so that's interesting. They make a thing talking about a Star Wars moment, and that how that feels like a Star Wars moment. Disney has not acquired Star Wars at this point, which is interesting. Ethan comes up to Marnie's window and says, "Rapunzel let down your hair," and she goes, "I had a haircut." Tangled has not been made or created yet. Very interesting. And then lastly, for a 2006 movie, they're using witch glasses and pumpkin watches, very much like an Apple FaceTime situation. And the first Apple Watch wasn't invented till 2014.
It's this thing predicted everything.
Just very interesting.
At first, I thought you were going to go the route of they don't have the rights to say those things, but no, you're going with they predicted the future.
Well, still with the Marvel and Star Wars, I don't know if they had the rights to say those things.
I don't. Yeah,
You,
I
you can do
mean,
that. You don't.
people reference stuff
I
all the time. I don't like. I mean, uh, uh, I don't know if Disney had Back to the Future isn't Disney, right?
No, that's Universal.
Okay, yeah, they reference Back to the Future in Endgame. So like, but so I don't really take an issue when I guess a film references
Well,
other media. I
no,
guess.
they can, but they still have to pay for some kind of licensing rights thing because of ownership. And I just don't know if the budget of this movie had the allowance to do that.
I think there's different levels of it though. There's the verbal acknowledgement and quoting. There's visual elements, like if they had a toy Tie Fighter, um, or a character show up. There's different levels to it. And I don't know how much just saying a line.
I don't know either. But just the things I've noticed throughout the movie, I'm like, this is ahead of its time.
It is ahead of its time in many ways.
Right, Ryder, you're frothing at the mouth to say something.
You'll be happy to know I completely forgot.
Well, that's on brand.
Really?
Seems to happen a lot.
It does, yeah. Uh, but I can still go.
Go ahead.
A little fun fact for me, I think it was one of the React timestamps. The Dominion of Witches or whatever. Uh, I I think the adults are kind of okay. The three brats that the dad's just kind of like a proud father of like three like more bitchy witches, which is
The
kind of
Sinister Sisters.
the Sinister Sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spot the bad guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, the headmaster of the witch school, his name is Mr. Sinister. I mean, come on,
Yeah, exactly.
Silas Sinister. Yeah.
bit on the nose.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, that was so the old guy, the old Asian guy is
I
the
guess what I'll go
headmaster.
with is the impact Marnie has had on Halloween Town. I mean, even
Uh,
she caused the school to open up to more than just witches.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Which
was
is
my point. You know,
interesting to
ironically
implement
reminded me.
in this, but I don't think they did a very good job doing.
no, I
You
don't think so.
unironically
We don't
reminded
see
me of my
witches like
points.
bashing monsters like to their faces or bullying. You get the
Well, a
snot
little.
guy, and that's about it. But it's about his snot and not about him being a creature. Because I mean, pretty. I would say mostly objectively, snot's pretty gross. So I can understand anybody doing that if they're a mean person insulting them. Not the really fact that he's the creature.
Yeah, but it's also Halloween Town. Everything scary and gross is what they like. It's like the opposite kind of thing. It's like, oh wow, you just farted and vomited at the same time. Wow, that's real cool. In the human world, that's disgusting. But in Halloween Town, it's like, oh,
I agree. Yeah, it's kind of actually was going to be my original point, Crimson, which is, since you've reminded me, is one of the things I liked. I'm putting this in quotes. Is that Marnie's actions in the world have had repercussions in the sense of like they've had to open the school up to all the to non witches and stuff like that because a lot of people are going to the human world for college to get away from their parents, and that's just that to me is has some logical sense to it. That's the bit about the consequences I think I'm okay with, but it doesn't really follow through with the repercussions as to as you said, Mr. Snot guy.
yes, and it goes into kind of the Twilight scenario where the movies, after cause effects of the prior. So it is interesting. In the past 3 movies, there hasn't been anything talked about from Aggie to Marnie saying, "Hey, there's a whole school just for witches." This whole time, like it's not shown.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's just kind of the nature of when you introduce something in world building. That's it feels like you're introducing parts of the world building later in the game than when you should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the inherent like problems when you're introducing world building stuff late into the story, because it feels like it's an add-on when it should feel more natural, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, even in the first one, we get a reference to like one other witch, for the lady that was making muffins for the headless, something like that, that gets corrupted in the theater or frozen. We don't get much acknowledgement of other witches, let alone a school for witches. That's
Yeah, this
something
whole
we
time.
Yeah, and something we do get in this one, which I don't believe is in the other films, is a map of HalloweenTown that it opens up with, and also appears, I think, in Periwinkle's classroom. This map does not look like
The
what we've
layout of the
seen
town at all. Yeah.
previously. Not at
No,
all.
not at all.
Uh, it's got the pumpkin in the middle, and then you can't. The town hall or whatever, where the mayor is, not even on the map. No idea where it is. It shows the Witch University is just up the road from the town square.
Yeah.
But it is
There's
cool
also
to see other places on there.
there's also Sinister Woods. Is that owned by Silas Sinister? Like, is it named
I,
after him?
I think it's named after
say
Sinister Boy,
possibly.
honestly.
Oh, maybe.
There's also Sinister Industries, which
Uh,
possibly is as well. So we don't really get much more on the world of HalloweenTown from the map, knowing
He's
the
like
names of the other place.
he's like the grandmother for the fairy godmother from the Shrek universe. He's got an industry of villainy.
Yeah,
and we're from the
But
Union. The Union?
Such a
we
great
do
movie.
get some interesting like location of where HalloweenTown is, even though it's in an alternate dimension. It's next to Lake Erie, which I'm sure they're doing it. Oh, it's named Erie. That's funny. But that establishes HalloweenTown on like an alternate Earth, not just an alternate dimension. But it could also
Yeah,
just be a coincidence of name.
we've talked about this, right? Does Halloween Town's quote unquote world extend beyond the town?
Don't know. I don't know if it's like a Pleasantville thing, and when you get to the one end of the street, you just loop back around and you're on the other end of the street.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking about Coraline.
Or Coraline, yeah, just walk around the world and you wind back up at the same place.
Yeah.
And it's a similar thing to like Hogwarts, right? In Harry Potter, can a Muggle go to Hogwarts, or is that like its own little pocket or something?
That I feel like a Muggle could walk into Hogwarts. There's like nothing protecting Hogwarts. It's just there.
I mean, come on,
Exactly. So
they have
I
some
don't know.
random professor walking each year to teach dark arts. I think a
There should
Muggle could walk
be
in.
satellite imagery
They
of
should,
Hogwarts.
assuming it's not in its own little pocket thing.
Well,
But
so
you could say
see
that with
that's
a
the thing,
lot
right?
of the Magic world too.
The only thing that's a hint that it's the pocket universe, right, is that they go through like a wall to like a portal wall to get to the train at platform 9 3/4. So that they make some effort to kind of imply that it's in its own. At least Hogwarts is in its own pocket dimension, but there are other scenes that are like blending the world with like they're flying through London on broomsticks and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't
Maybe
have to leave platform 9 3/4 to get home. They
yeah.
can just fly there.
Yeah, maybe J.K. just is not good at world building.
Ah,
Just a thought.
Let's go with a rider point.
Sure. I will jump to I guess one of the small recurring jokes. Dylan is much less of a straight man in this. Well, actually, this is not a joke. He's much less of a straight man. One of the charms, I guess, to his character in previous films was that he was always like the no nonsense kind of person.
He's steadfast in his beliefs and
Yeah.
stuff.
And you know, I'm okay. It feels like it's a natural progression of growth to him at least using magic to study. Because it's in his blood and he does possess the power, and it's kind of a continuation of the promise of I think the previous film where he helped with the spell, I think. Um, but so it feels like a natural continuation, but I do admit I think I missed the straight laced version of Dylan a little bit.
I agree. Because I brought up the
Well,
whole
they-
just like not using magic and him skipping that rule to do the magic for the speed reading.
Yeah, I mean, we even see him use magic in the first film with the group spell to get rid of
That's
Calabar.
fine.
So I can buy that. His like love for the Sinister Sister before I guess he got hexed or whatever. I was just like, oh, she speaks Latin. I'm in love. It's a little extra for me, but
I think
Whatever.
they do a good job of framing it because it's such a nerdy thing to speak Latin. I think it works as a way of like why he would be interested in her. But I think the rejection would have definitely set that back. That's kind of where it felt a little out of character for a bit until obviously that hex happens.
he's been bewitched, Cedric.
I saw that coming.
It's perfect. All right, Springs.
Why is it weird to be talking to Soup? When the mom's on the phone call, why is Marnie like making fun of it?
Well, it's hard to
Made no sense.
say. They didn't establish very well in this if there's still a stigma with the mom using magic, because the first two films she was like, no magic in the human world, and now she's kind of using it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll be honest.
Where that's
I don't usually am the one to say it. I think it's character damaging to the mom.
That's right. You usually don't say that. I'm trying to
She's using
remember the
magic throughout this
third
whole
one.
movie.
So here's the thing, right? I have character damage with her across the entire franchise because at the end of the first one, she's promising that okay, I'm gonna help Marnie learn magic. That's like the whole thing. And then we're right back to she kind of gets reset for HalloweenTown 2. And I'll echo Crimson. I don't remember HalloweenTown 3 all that much. So for me, this is such a wide swing in the other direction, but it feels like character progression that should have happened like 2 films ago. So I don't necessarily
Yeah,
see it's
but it should be gradual, not just doing magic in public around random people.
That's what I was
yeah.
gonna say. They went way too far. Like her changing the size of the house or the layout of the house, or either reversing time for the leaves or just magically reattaching them to the tree, whichever angle you'd want to approach it. All of this visible from the neighbors. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I think they went too far. I don't necessarily see it as out of character, but the progression is all wrong, so it's still character damaging.
I'm trying to remember her using magic in the third one. She's not in the third one all that much because it takes place
Yeah,
in school and she has no
Don't
part
remember
in
her
school.
using magic.
So I guess there's a little gray area for the level of the damage she has, but it was not at this level. Certainly not at this level in the third one.
Yeah, she's talking to fucking toilets while trying to sell a house. I don't understand.
Which brings up an issue I've brought up in the past 2 Halloween Towns, and that's communication across worlds. Halloween Town 1, it's impossible to communicate across worlds. The only time you can is on Halloween when the portal is open, and that's the only time you have to cross over to communicate. Halloween Town 2, Aggie creates those talking headphones, and that now you can communicate across worlds with those devices. The third one, Halloween Town High, brings up the witch's glasses, which they've in the movie established as being a long way of communicating across worlds, which tramples on the previous 2. And then this, we have toilet and soup communication and projection. I don't understand what they're doing.
The only defense I can think of
I'll
for
tell you what
this
they're
is
doing. They're breaking it.
yeah, the only defense I can think of for this is the fact that their worlds are specifically always open to each other now. That in theory could make communication easier. But I would like to get a line about that because otherwise I'm just inferring the world building here.
Yeah, that would be nice. thank you. Like one of the students saying, "Thank you, Marnie, for opening the portal so I can talk to my Muggle parents." You know, it's very very cool. Something I don't know.
Well, they
But
would
yeah,
say
it's kind
Muggle.
I know. So that would be nice. If they did that, so we don't have to infer it. But there's a lot of different ways of communication in this one. All right, let's go with Rudder.
All right. I think it might be the lighting, but I feel like Dylan changed backpacks in between saying goodbye to his mom and then their first encounter with the sinister uh, trio. The bag is like a very, very bright blue when he's saying goodbye to mom, and then it's a very, very dark blue when he's meeting the sinister sisters.
Well, that's I don't know. I did see it. It'd be kind of a weird continuity issue if they swapped bags, but I don't remember the whole scene looking different lighting wise. Like if
Yeah,
there was
the only
a
justification,
shade
okay,
on it.
yeah, there's a shade on them in when he's talking to the Sinister Sisters, but then when he's talking to Mom, he's in the sunlight. That's pretty much the only thing I got as far as lighting is concerned. It's not that
I'll
different.
just go with a lighting thing because to me they look like the same backpack.
All right. Sprinks, points please.
Yeah, why is magic glitching? Like the phone call with Aggie, it's like glitching out.
I have no fucking clue.
Well, at that time, and that's funny. That's part of the answer. Aggie's doing time travel, so it might just be related to the time travel spell. It's weird that they use a glitch effect and not like a fading thing, but I'm imagining that's the intent behind it. Is the time travel stuff is interfering?
It looks silly.
It does, but I think there's enough to read in that it's related to the time travel magic her and Sophie are currently using. But it does look silly. Right. Let's talk about Grandma Aggie. I'm conflicted. I feel like she's heavily underutilized, but overutilized at the same time. I feel like every time she's on screen, it doesn't really add much of anything. When she uses the projection with Marnie in the dorm room, she's like, "Oh, there's something I wish I've told you before. Then tell me now." There's no time. Like, okay, thanks for making this a useless scene. Other than
Yeah, that
Grandma
that
Aggie's
was
even worse now because she never said anything.
that's
How's school?
exactly
Oh, great. Can you tell me? I gotta go.
yeah. That was exactly my thoughts. That made the whole scene purposeless. I hated it so much.
Yeah, it made Aggie worse. And you could argue because it's time travel, she had to say that for Marnie to go through everything in the film to get to the point of resetting everything or whatever.
Yeah, but she never comes back.
No,
Well, like I said,
not in a
again,
relevant way.
it's almost as if the time travel rules here don't make sense. You know, just a thought.
Oh, bring up the second movie?
Oh man, the freaking second movie, time travel. That was a whole
At
thing.
least it's mostly
What?
off screen in this film.
Yes, but with what you brought up, Crimson, about how like the only way to get to HalloweenTown is like on Halloween, and you have to go through this whole thing in order to do it. But now the portal's been open, and then the second one's like time travel. You had to do this certain thing and a certain way and everything. I don't get how in this one Marty can go up to Periwinkle and be like, "Hey, I need to travel back in time." She goes, "Sure," and it's just like make a ring with your fingers.
It's stupidly simplified, and we learned the mat. Oh no, what was? No, that was the fixing black and white spell. Was the Atrapa? I don't remember what the time travel spell was,
The
but
way they portray it, I just go, "Oh, anyone can do this."
absolutely, you just need two good witches, and boom, you got time travel.
One of the most like reality breaking spells you could possibly cast is time travel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the only way that it would be impactful is it's the time travel where nothing changes.
Yeah.
So like everything
Listen to that.
happened already.
Yeah, that's the best faith assumption I can imagine. I think there's, I guess it's not really a paradox with the key because the key literally just vanished for the 1,000 years that it wasn't there and reappeared in the future with Marnie. So that was the only one and only key where the box took the long way.
Yes, I guess that is technically tampering with the past, but
Yeah, but
it's
no, like
also
saying
meant
I'm
to
saying it doesn't.
be.
I don't think it breaks anything.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's actually like Life is Strange time travel, where you can grab an item, rewind, and now you have the item.
Yeah.
It's a good game,
Interesting.
or
It
so I
is.
hear.
It's a great game with wavering quality through
favorite
the
game.
franchise. uh, yeah, time travel in this is it consistent with the second movie's time travel?
I think the second one had a lot more problems, if I remember correctly, in our coverage. This one seems very much like
This one's very
whatever
straightforward.
happened. Like, here's the key, best place to put it is the future. And it's like, oh, it was just destined already for that to occur.
Yeah, I don't. The only progression I don't really understand in the time travel is Periwinkles going from like street seller to friend of Aggie to, oh, I'm an agent here to arrest the rest of the Dominion witches or whatever.
Well, it's been
Also, horrible secret agent.
years.
Yeah.
1,000 years. It took her
Oh, yeah.
1,000 years to find
Undercover for
the
10
Dominion.
centuries is what she says. It's insane.
Yeah, but it also plays off like she's the only person.
Yeah, which is a
Like, there's no team or anyone. It's just
which is
her.
a fucking problem. Because that implies that there is a team. So until I'm
It'd be great when
told
she goes
otherwise,
to, like, give her report and be like, I did it, and everyone's dead.
Right?
she goes to give her a report. It's just her looking into a mirror.
Maybe she's just delusional this whole time.
Crazy witch. Oh, that'd be funny. But that's an opportunity they could have linked something from the previous film that I feel is completely absent in this. That's the HalloweenTown Council. There's no council here.
No, unless
so
the council is Silas's cult group.
No. Yeah. So she could have a line that she was like a spy for the council, or at least tying it in and showing that the council is acknowledging corruption at the witch school.
No, Crimson, all that time to explain the council they had to use to just say Ethan's dad was bad.
Yeah. See, again, that just makes things even more broadly worse because you have the council, and then we don't really get like the repercussions with them as regards to Calabar. But in the council has if she's been on the job for 10,000 years or 1,000 years, I think I want to know where she was during the Calabar incident if she's working with the council.
Yeah. She was at the school teaching. She was all grade, during the second movie with Cal. She was all sad and boring and stuff, so she couldn't really help.
Probably.
Yeah. But that was the issue we brought up with the council in the third one being introduced, is where were they in the previous films? So
Yeah.
Now they established the council, and they still don't use the council. Ooh, even worse.
HalloweenTown is such a cool concept, and just to watch it get squandered is really gets to me.
Yeah, it's a little sad.
Like Twilight all over again.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
Where's my sad Seattle blue, damn it?
Oh, you got your sad gray in the second one.
No, that's rubbish.
Rubbish. All right, Sprinks, you can go with the next point.
Yeah, 2:48 when Marnie's in the kitchen telling her mom, it's like, yeah, I got accepted. And she goes, what?
Apple.
Terrible transition to cut to the bedroom.
Absolutely terrible. I guess Marnie would keep it from her mom, thinking that it's not a good thing to tell her.
I can
Yeah,
buy it in Marnie's
yeah.
character. It's very artificial drama, but it is buyable because Marnie's just that way. Very Marnie. But the transition, it's not great.
No.
Right.
I will jump to probably I think one of my favorite gags in the whole film, just because it's so over the top, which is when the mom uses magic to carry the groceries out behind her, like without carrying
Mhm.
them. And I think for some reason, I think it just works for me because it's
I
an
forgot about
extension of,
that.
it's an extension of the, ma'am, this is a Wendy's kind of situation as a joke. So she's just venting to this poor like retail worker, and
His
they
name's
just
Jerry. Let's not
yeah
forget his
Yeah.
name.
yeah
He's
Breakdown
amazing.
on counter 3.
yeah. He's just completely like stone faced the entire time, even when he sees the magic, and that leads into
Even
just
when
the
he's having a
dry.
meltdown, he's
Yeah. He's so I don't know why that joke really got to me. I thought character assassination levels for the mom, but the joke was
Oh, absolutely.
very funny.
Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite part of the movie. Actually, was Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, the grocery store cashier. Let's go with another Springs poem.
Oh boy. I guess just an overall question: are holograms magic?
Yeah,
In this
I
world,
don't like how they portray it as if it's like a technology. But I'm going with magic.
Okay. Because the
It's like the
glitches are
glitch in
it's
the
just
soup.
weird.
It's like the
Yeah.
glitch in the soup. It's an electronic effect, but it's clearly a magic thing. It's just they didn't do a good job portraying it.
No. And when Marnie's looking at the University Castle hologram, I
It
can
jitters.
believe I can yes, but I can believe that was done in one take
Oh, okay.
because she's not looking at the castle.
No, she's kind of.
She's looking at like the ceiling of her room. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and yeah, kind of like the Mr. Bean grab in Scooby Doo. The tracking of the castle jitters. It it and not like a hologram jitter. I mean, like it's
No.
they lose
No,
the
like
place
the
in the 3D
FX.
space.
Yeah.
So it's not as egregious as Mr. Bean, but it is a notable one. Let's see, what would I want to go with? Let's go with the gargoyles. I like that they're practical, but that's about the extent. I don't understand what they are. They're the eyes for the
They're
Dominion.
spies.
But then Ethan's like, "All right, tell me everything," and boom. But it also works for Periwinkle to trap them. So I don't know. It's whatever the story wants them to be, which is just lazy.
Yeah, I guess anyone. They're like security cameras that anyone can tap into.
I know it makes them useless. Not a fan.
yeah.
But hey, that transition in the opening with the narration and then the zoom in the eyeball. I mean, woo.
Too much. The whole like
They
the Cromwell
tried.
prophecy, and then it's just Return to HalloweenTown title. Thanks.
Yeah.
Watching, I like to imagine that Silas just reads the prophecy every night before everybody goes to bed, like a bedtime story. That's just such a funny thing to.
And it's kind of weird to think about the age of a lot of these characters. Like, I'm sure Mr. Sinister's hundreds of years old. He's not gray like Periwinkle and Aggie, so I doubt he's 1,000 years old. But it gets into the age progression of witches, I guess. Because how old is
Yeah.
Gwen? Because she looks like a mom and not like. Is there an age where you start slowing down as a witch and not
I don't know.
aging.
She's also in the human world, so times differently their age, right? So
That's also true.
I couldn't tell you they switched actors for this. Sorry.
Oh, with
for
Marty,
who?
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry.
the
Bad joke.
the actress for Marty is younger than the actor for Dylan, which is interesting because she's the
Weird.
older sister. But hey, I guess on that topic, how do you guys feel about the recast? Start
terrible.
with Ryder or Sprinks actually.
Sorry,
Keep
just
going.
terrible.
Just
She's
terrible.
not. She can't act. She's terrible at acting. It's just a lot of reactionary things to things around. So when she has to start a topic, it seems so fake.
I'm
Yeah, it is.
not as harsh. I'm probably at a 3 or 4 as far as on a 1 to 10 scale. 10 being best, 1 being worst. 1 being Mickey Rourke, 10 being Christian Bale. I see her as more of a, I see her as a 3 or 4. I don't see it as bad. She's definitely not the greatest actress in the world, but I think she does enough to convey her points. There's parts of the film where I wish she was doing more with her face, but
No, there's better Disney Channel original movie actors and actresses better than her.
that is true. Then again, I haven't really watched many, so that might be why I not as harsh on her as you guys might be.
Do you guys think this movie would be better with original Marty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I agree. Might be a dumb question, but threw it out there anyways. I think her acting is on par for just a Disney Channel thing, which means I view it as kind of not great acting. But in terms of being a Marnie, I don't think she's a great Marnie either. She just tunes every reaction up higher than the Marnie we know. She feels like a caricature of Marnie.
She's
Marnie.
overacting, I think would be the way to phrase that in a
Yeah,
way.
which is not good.
The overacting can be beneficial. I mean, like Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell's overacting in Army of Darkness.
Yeah, but you got to know
the film. So
the world connection of it.
And this is, I mean, HalloweenTown's kind of a goofy world and stuff. So I feel
Yeah, but
her
if
acting.
not everyone in the world is overacting, then it's not. It's a standout, especially for someone who's not supposed to be like a creature of just like a human. Like she's raised in the normal world.
Who would you classify as not overacting in this? I feel like everyone overacted. Maybe Ethan. I don't think Ethan overacted.
Yeah, Ethan is very calm.
He's. And
maybe sinister. He's just talking.
Yeah, but he's a pretty cartoon guy.
I think those are the lines he's getting. I think are cartoony. I think him just talking is just him talking. He's not like moving his hands or
Marty. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty animated. But I think we all agree, not the best choice.
Yeah. Is Dylan overacting? I think he's okay for the most part.
When he's hexed.
I feel, that he's got his moments of overacting.
I don't think that's overacting. See, that for me is a case of material.
But you could argue that with anybody overacting, it's the material that leads them into overact.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, I won't push back. It's not really my field of grades anyway.
All right, well, Ryder, you got a point?
Oh, yeah, okay. My timestamp in Discord. I got a couple. So at 2054, I had to watch the scene a few times. I think it's the lighting. That being said, I think it's bad lighting because it makes it seem like the troll kids. Is it a troll?
The snot guy?
Yeah, snot guy.
Burp Burp or whatever his name is.
Yeah, the snot guy is
the
like
third.
Yeah, snot guy the third's sweater looks see-through, and I think it's because of the lighting, like on the shoulder.
Once again, I didn't pick up this line.
Yeah, it was a crazy visual that I thought I thought I was like losing my mind when I saw it. I'm like, because because it looks like it's the tree right behind him where he stands up, but it might just be the shadows playing across his shoulder.
Ryder, you are correct and onto something, but it's not
Oh,
the clothing. It
okay.
is the lens of the camera reflecting light,
Oh, that's
and it
even
has a light
worse.
shadowing off of the top right corner. And when his shoulder
Okay.
goes into it, it's bouncing off the clothes.
Okay. All right. That's still awful.
We know Spranks loves it when the camera gets interacted by the environment.
Oh, love's not the right word, but boy, do I catch it.
Did you catch
'Cause,
that
yeah,
one, or was that you going
was-
back and seeing the timestamp?
Well, Ryder said the timestamp. I looked at my notes and I'm like, oh, that's probably what he's talking about.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes sense to me that would be a mistake. Sure.
I'll talk about the hologram again, but this one with the well, Goodwin or whatever, the
Glenda
like the
Goodwich?
McGonagall.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
one.
Good one. Yeah, the good. We got Sinister and the good one. It's funny.
And then Grog.
Even though she's not a good one. Yeah. So she has a hologram for the like acceptance letter, what have you, and the hologram reacts to getting passed through, and I
Yeah,
don't
it lights
know
up the
why.
whole screen. The entire screen turns yellow.
Well, I'm okay with that being like an effect, but it's the like she screams, like like the hologram's feeling getting passed through. It's weird. I don't know why they did that.
It's magic.
I guess so.
It's
So-
magical.
It's
So
like one of those
weird
things.
choice.
It's like I don't think Aggie said it, but like in the pot, and they're like talking. It's like, oh, it's boiling in here. Like, can she actually feel that? Is that?
Oh, maybe, maybe. I mean, she could be using soup on her end, and it's just boiling hot. I guess. Like, what does it look like for Aggie? Is she using soup or is she using a witch's glass?
I don't know.
I have no idea. That'd be funny if she just brought a bowl of soup to communicate with Gwen. Goofy.
I will say for the mom in her calls on either the witch's glass or the pumpkin phone or whatever, the lighting is completely off on shots of her since her face is either in a bird bath or a toilet.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Because when it shows her, it just looks like she's standing still with a lit background.
Yeah, and her face would be dark with shadow as well, because it's behind light. Writer.
Sure. Just a small thing. Even though we find out that the essay history teacher, whatever, is working for the Dominion of Evil or whatever.
Grog.
Yeah. The scene where they're doing the essay writing, when he looks up to see if everyone's writing, his light travels faster than the sinister lady's reflexes to catch her pen. I know the intention is for her not to get caught in there, probably in on the plan, but it bugged me because obviously he would notice.
He's in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
That's the only that's the only defense I can think of for it, honestly.
Yeah, but I do like he did play along for Marnie, like the we'll investigate. But then they bring up this weird, I guess, new rule that some spells leave magic fingerprints.
Oh yeah, like there's a DNA trace or what the fuck ever, and they immediately just throw it away, like, oh, we can't find, it's too much of a common spell or whatever.
Yeah, so could they have done that with Cal's like black and white spell? Like, oh, this is Cal's magic fingerprint. This is a unique spell.
Yeah, they totally could have.
Or say it's like Aggie's because she made the spell. But either way, they didn't do the DNA tracking spell or whatever. Just a new thing they implemented as something that can just be in this universe that has never been utilized to this point. And I'd like to point out for Grog, this is the second movie he's ever acted in, and the last. He didn't do anything else.
Was
only
he a
did 2
stage
movies.
actor?
Only did 2 movies. If you look him up on LetterBoxd, he doesn't even have a photo or a bio. Just shows 2 movies he's in.
Wonder if he was a stage actor, and that's where that comes from. Like that's where he
Maybe. I mean,
usually acts.
he's pretty animated. Springs.
Let's see. On the arrival, well, first off, Benny's in this movie, so
Hey,
woohoo.
that was one of your big critiques of HalloweenTown High was there was no
Yeah.
Benny and no music.
There was no Benny. Oh, we'll get to the music. But at 7:09, when Benny's taking them to the university, it shows a shot of them looking out their window of passing by the university, where then it goes to the next shot of them driving towards it, and the university building hasn't changed its
Orientation. Yeah.
orientation to shot. So the geography of the world is problematically an issue with the route to get there.
Yeah. I noticed that as well.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Geography makes no sense in this world.
How do you feel about Benny's recast? Because we've had 3 different people play Benny.
I don't remember Benny ever being like constantly saying puns.
He
was in the first movie.
Yeah, he was. And the second one, he didn't really because he was the boring black and white, like human
Yeah,
version.
and then he waves goodbye at the end.
Yeah.
And
He
then
does
he's not
make
in
a
the third
joke
one.
when he's waving. I don't remember what it was.
So it is constant puns in the first one then.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
he's driving them to Aggie's.
All right. That was my only thought on that. Didn't know if that was consistent or not. Sounds like it is.
Still good effects on Benny though. So
True,
good
from all the
animatronic.
problems you said that the first movie had.
Well, I don't remember there being problems. I remember. I don't remember who. Springs. It might have been you and Sinister both thought it was CGI. I think. So someone on the panel thought it
Maybe.
was CGI,
I did.
and then I revealed it was animatronic. Okay,
I
it was
think-
you.
I think
You
it-
and Sinister. I know Sinister for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
you
it was
and
me.
Sinister.
I was
thought it CGI.
kind of torn between them. Like it looks bad for CGI, but fun for animatronics. I think is what I phrased it as. That sounds right anyway.
Possibly.
It's been 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what will I go to. So we talked about Marnie making a portal with Periwinkle to do the whole time travel thing, which is stupidly dumbed down and made simple. And the visuals different. Because in the second one you had like the whole time stream that you had to fly through to go back in time. And this it's a teleporter. It just takes you there. And then the portal she takes to go to HalloweenTown is just the same effect, and it doesn't have the whole archway that you see in the other films as well. I don't know. Something tells me this franchise isn't very consistent.
The archway was too expensive.
Yeah, too effect heavy. All right, let's go with Springs.
Marnie is a bit of an asshole, asking Dylan to carry her luggage. When they finally arrive there, she just magically lets it float.
Magically. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I picked up on.
And she has no idea why he's carrying extra bags yet. I already touched on that, but Marnie is
Yeah.
just being an idiot. It should be obvious that he's attending just by the luggage alone.
Now, Dylan absolutely read the rule book. I feel like he would have told Marnie, you can't use magic here. He didn't say that there. He just complained that she used it.
You know what?
You didn't say you're not supposed to use that on campus.
You know,
Did you read the book?
Funny enough, I'm actually fine with that. It's his way of getting back at her. She's not gonna get in real trouble for it. She's just gonna get in some small trouble for it.
Oh no, but I feel like Dylan, Mr. Rule Guy, would try to help.
Yeah,
But
I feel like
brotherly
the fix I would
letter.
add is just have him mock her over it after the end of it. It's like, you know, like make it explicit that that was his choice, because I agree. I think he did read the real book. This is Dylan we're talking about.
It uses magic to read. To get to read more. Yeah. Redder?
I will jump to. I guess it's not really an issue. It's just more of a question. It's just like why none of the other students are uh kind of push back against the Sinister Sisters, because like, any of them could like be a witness for Marnie in the case of them working on their new side project class, which is them just doing architecture stuff into the mansion.
Well, it's the headmaster's daughter. What can you do? She's got privileges. She's popular. You got random guys
remember-
just giving them food for no reason.
Yeah, and the events of the last movie of HalloweenTown High of Marnie sticking out for the monsters isn't a thing here, even though it's her being that allows the monsters to be here. So they're not going to stick out their necks for her.
That's true. They don't really like focus on that aspect of her that much.
Yeah,
She acknowledges
the only
that
one
there's
that's
monsters here and she likes it, but she doesn't do anything with them really.
yeah, well, she volunteers. She does volunteer work with them, but the problem is it's like such a like it's not even a plot in the film,
Yeah.
which would be interesting to explore. Like the only monsters that we really get is the Snot Guy and Genie.
And
She
Jeannie,
isn't really a monster.
it's a creature, I guess, or
It's a
being.
creature. Yeah.
True, but just
Oh.
like another budget saver because they all look like humans kind of thing.
But
Well,
to say within a degree,
we
they
couldn't
have
have
to
a
use
floating.
effects on her for stuff.
Yeah, we couldn't have a floating blue cloud. That would have been a little too much.
I didn't like a line of hers where, when we first get introduced to her, she's like, "I'm the first genie in my family to go to this school," and then later we get established that this is the first year monsters have been allowed into the school. Like, oh well, that
So
line.
so it's just not impressive anymore, is it? Yeah.
It doesn't matter. This is the first time anyone could do it. It's terrible. So they tried to make her impressive, and then completely took it away from her with the "this is the first year genies can apply."
Yeah. All right. I think I'm okay. Going back to my original point, I think I'm okay with, I guess, the crowd not wanting to try and back up Marnie because of everything that she's done at this point. If they know that, since they probably know that the Sinister Sisters are related to the headmaster, but we don't really have a confirmation of that, which bugs me because this is everybody's like first few days. For all we know, they're all new to this Halloween witch university, so they're all creatures. So it works, I think, but I still think there's cracks in it.
It's a play on words. Like, they are sinister because they're evil, but they are the Sinister Sisters because their last name is Sinister. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is that. Sprinks,
Me, one different point.
different point or add on? Up to you.
It's weird that Marnie introduces herself as Marnie Piper, not Marnie Cromwell.
I had that same issue. They kept bringing up Piper all the time. Like, is
I
it
just
'cause
don't understand
Cromwell
it.
is
It's
an
the
important
fourth
name in
movie.
this one?
I-
Yeah,
Are they trying to hide it?
I feel like it feels intentional that they're not using Cromwell because that's
does.
been a through line and everything. So it's weird that she's just Marnie Piper, so Marnie Cromwell. But I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a weird choice, and I noticed that as well. I
It's
don't
like
know
hiding
if it's
something,
an
but what's
issue.
to hide?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Yeah, I have no devil's advocate reasoning. I don't know why they would do it.
So I have a broad question. If you don't, it'd be a different point.
Sure, if Sprinks is done with that. Marty Piper one.
Yeah. So the goal of the Dominion is to get Marty to use magic. So why don't they just rescind the rule to allow magic?
Because then anyone could time travel.
They can do
I don't
that
know.
off campus.
That's another question I had. Is it just the university, or is it throughout HalloweenTown?
No, they said it was a strictly university thing.
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
so just study off campus.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Homework.
So that to me gives a little more into Dylan breaking rules, which seems a little against his character.
Well, I mean, it's in the library at the university. I'm sure they have exclusive books there. So if he's going to break the rules, at least that makes sense to me at
Yeah,
that
but it
point
seems-
using it.
It seems like it would have been way cooler to solve if they actually went to like Grandma Aggie's house to like bring back from the first movie.
Oh, they'd have to make a whole new set.
Yeah, but then he's like, "Oh yeah, Grandma Aggie and Sophie are in her way, so I'm just gonna be here, but I can use magic here." So he's like studying there. I feel like that would work far better.
I think it would be different. I don't know if it would be far better. Kind of feels like
still
it
can't
changes
get
the
over
pace
Dylan breaking the
for
rules.
that. Okay, I'm trying to remember if he did any rule breaking in the other films.
Well, the third movie, he was a big protector of the
the
monsters to like
Girl.
how to make sure everything
Monsters.
goes well in the human world and how to not break rules.
Yeah. Then what the heck did he do on the second?
He got stuck on a roof or something, like a ceiling.
That
He was at a
third.
party for like a third of the movie in the second one, just on the phone, watching Toad Golem guy.
Yeah, that's right. He was just watching Toad.
And then
Guy.
he got on a broom with Sophie.
That's rule breaking. And he did
Uh,
complain
well,
about Sophie about doing
He
it.
did
but-
complain it. Sophie's the one who broke the rule, and he told her not to. But she's like, "This is the
Please.
fastest way we can get to the party to help everyone."
He still did do it though, so he complained.
Yeah,
So, I guess there's an instance of him breaking a rule. But I see the point you're making. Any add-on to that, Ryder?
I'm not as hardline with characters needing to be, unless they make it a strictly like a character trait. Because I view that as more of a facet. He likes to stick to rules, but he's not like 100% like we need to stick to rules the entire time or we're gonna get in trouble kind of person. That to me has never come across as far as his personality. So I don't have any issues with Dylan bending the rules or breaking them. In select situations. If he did it like every single time, I would have an issue. Because that would be out of character. But the occasional one that's would present an obstacle, I can see him wanting to skirt around it for the greater good. Kind of what he does in this.
Greater good.
yeah. But on
this
the
m-
flip side, I can see it as like you can't. The rule of the university is not to, otherwise you can get in trouble from the headmaster of being sinister of Silas, and his daughters are the one he's infatuated with. So I feel like he'd go through extra steps of precaution not to get in trouble, so he can't be around them anymore.
Yeah, but these are the daughters who throw people on campus with magic. I don't think he cares
because
about that
they
in front of
can.
them.
I don't think they'd be seen in a library.
They also would not be seen in a library.
No, it's not the sake of them seeing Dylan, of the Sinister Sisters. I'm saying use of magic to get Dylan in trouble, so he can't see them anymore.
Is there? I don't even think there's a. See, that's the thing, right? I don't think there's magic detection in this school, like whatsoever. It's just all visual. Like they have to like physically hold an object to detect magic. So as far as I understand the rules, they can do as much magic as they want inside their dorms, because
That was the rule that Ethan said. Rule number 1: you can do magic just out of sight. Or maybe that was rule 2. I don't remember. It was either 1 or 2.
So I don't, like I said, I don't really have an issue with him breaking the rule because it's not really that. It's not really a strict rule. Like they don't have like constant 24/7 monitoring on the kids.
Well, that's just world building.
Yeah,
Terrible school.
Yeah, but you know.
Do you have a point to jump to, Ryder?
Yeah, they could have just. I'm kind of just doubling down on my previous one. They could have just rescinded the rule for Marnie to use magic and get all the shit that they wanted her to do much faster. But you know, they just needed to pretend that they care about the rule.
No, then the council will definitely come in. You're making it unfair for all the non-magic creatures.
It'd be nice to see
What's
the council.
Here? Yeah.
If they had a throwaway line for that, this wouldn't be an issue.
I mean, the line is the no magic rule exists so that it's an even playing field. So I think that's enough of a reason for them to not rescind the rule, because that would cause a lot of issues.
Yeah, but they need Marnie to use magic, so I don't. This would actually help their plan.
And I don't know why they made it like this whole chore to get her to use magic. It seems simple. I mean, they even used. I'm just gonna call her McGonagall. To be like, oh yeah, just use magic on the box, and then Marnie did it. I mean, it wasn't like a chore. Then they had to end up using the Sinister Sisters to get to Dylan and blah 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 blah. It just felt like overly convoluted.
Yeah, then that's kind of where I'm angling with this bit in their plan, and they made it so it makes it so it's convoluted to get to the point where she's using magic openly. Ooh.
All right, Sprinks, thoughts or point of your own?
I mean, it's just it really affects the pacing. It's fast and it doesn't make sense, and it's I don't know how else to word it. They really think this movie is designed to be shown to children, I guess.
Definitely a kids' film. Not very deep.
And I think that's a problem to it. Is it's not being made as like a family movie. It's being made as a kids movie.
I can see that.
So, yeah, something that got to me about the 20-minute mark-ish, I was getting real annoyed with the sound effect overuse in the background.
There is quite a bit of it.
And not just when magic's being used, just like in movements.
No, just anywhere.
Yeah.
There's just
there
like
is a lot
screaming or monster growls or banging or just stuff everywhere. It's too much.
Makes it a real lived-in world.
No, it makes it a real loony, cartoony place.
Loony, cartoony. I will jump to the reveal of the dungeon, because McGonagall like waves her hand and and reveals the wall, or makes the wall disappear.
That's a dungeon?
Opening up the dungeon.
That's a dungeon? I thought it was just like...
Yeah, they said that was the old dungeon.
Okay, alright.
Where the chest and all the
Excavating.
artifacts were. Yeah, the excavation area was the dungeon. And it's kind of an interesting thing, like doing that as a class. But my issue being the perspective of the room is off. When she waves her hand and the wall goes, the dungeon room is like at an angle that isn't level with them.
Crimson, do you understand why?
Because that room isn't really there.
Kind of, but I mean, like in the section of making the scene, like filming it, do you understand how they did that?
So you have the shot of the students and her waving her hand against presumably a green screen. And then you have a separate shot of them filming the room or a composite of the image of the room. And that shot is not lined up at the same angle as the class and her shot.
Okay.
Is that right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest way I see them to do it, where they couldn't get an angle of the camera inside the dungeon room because there's no door on the wall they want them to appear out of.
Yeah, and then there's the shot of once they're actually in there. I think they do the same thing just with her facing them. She doesn't look like she's in the room at one point. Actually, I think it's around your timestamp, Springs.
Oh.
In the dungeon. Whatever it may be. Let's go with Springs point. Again.
Ryder, how do you feel that Professor Periwinkle referenced Tolkien?
Get that fucking name out of your mouth.
Yeah, Periwinkle's fine, right? She's a fine character.
Yeah, I don't hate her.
Other than her
Periwinkle's
stupidity.
okay.
It's fine.
Just stating that the works of that is in this world.
Yeah, it's pretty much all it is. Like I said, I take it out the same way I took all the other references. Like knows about Tolkien. I'm like, oh, that's I guess neat. It made me. I subjectively enjoy references to what I love. I gotta. No, sorry.
Apologies. I was very confused on the layout of that classroom.
Oh, there's a
Periwinkles?
Yes. Why are there seats centered in the center of the room when the whole surrounding the room, kind of like a football arena, has seats all the way around that are unused?
Back in the day, there used to
it
be
felt like a
thousands
gymnasium.
of witches.
Yeah, but it felt like the set was for like a gymnasium or like a college class, and they repurposed it to look more like a high school setting for her classroom.
Possibly, but also it was a castle before it was a school. So that room could have been used for something else, and they repurposed it for a classroom. And also, that classroom could be used for different classes. It doesn't have to be just Periwinkle's class. It could be used as levitation class or something. I don't know. Can't use magic, but the room could be repurposed for different classes.
Yes, but there's still seats all in the center of it. Where would those go?
For Periwinkle, you can move seats. I don't fully remember the look of this room, so I'm just going off of what you're saying.
Okay, it just
so
it didn't. It seemed very silly to me.
Okay. Ryder?
It's like taking out folding chairs in a movie theater. Sorry, like why?
With the scene or my own point?
Well, I was going to be your own point. Then Sprinks added more to the folding chair thing.
I was trying to give a better example.
But I'm picturing like an assembly, right, in a gym, where they pull out the bleachers. Sometimes they add chairs because there's too many people, but then they reset it for the gym class. It's like a dual purpose thing.
Well, yeah, but you don't have desks in the center of the room where the court is.
Not likely. I don't know.
But that's what Periwinkle's classroom looks like. Okay.
All right, Ryder. Yes, I guess either you can add more or move
on. I am going to move on because I don't really have anything to add. I don't remember the layout of the room. It's a very odd for a college room. That's all I got. But I've never been to which university.
House Castle.
Well, see, actually, I have been to 1,000-Year-Old Castle, but I don't remember any classrooms. I'm gonna jump to a Periwinkle line of our families have been friends since HalloweenTown, ever since before HalloweenTown existed. What a lie!
What a lie!
Yeah.
HalloweenTown existed. Yeah, right.
For
Well, then again,
HalloweenTown.
like the name Halloween, like when Marnie went back in time to the Cromwell Castle, do you think that was still called Halloween Town?
I don't think it is called HalloweenTown, but it's just fun. My part of that is the friends part. They're not friends at all. Like her and Aggie aren't friends at all.
I mean, there's 1,000 years for them to be friends.
Yeah, but they explicitly state before HalloweenTown existed. She's gonna go out and make HalloweenTown is the implication at the end of the time travel-y, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. That's why Marnie leaves the pumpkin for her.
Well, as a centerpiece, that's missing. But I'm still thinking before the name of the town was called that, they could have established a friendship.
Yeah, and this is also ignoring the fact I'm like, oh, funny, Aggie never mentioned you in any of the movies before this.
That's true. No,
So
I wish they did something like the establishment of HalloweenTown as another universe or realm, dimension, what have you. Because we got established, I think it was the first one, that monsters and humans were on Earth, but the humans drove out the monsters and they made their own dimension, which is what HalloweenTown is. So it'd be cool if we got to see a glimpse of that when we went to the past here, but we didn't get that. We're just in
No, that was
HalloweenTown.
before this.
That was before this.
It's even
yes.
further back.
So it would have been cool if they explored that within one of these 4 movies, 2 of which having time travel.
Oh. Hang on.
Oh.
Yes. Aggie.
You got the caveman.
Hang on. Aggie has been looked like a teen back in that time, and it's been over 100 years. 100 years or 1,000 years?
1,000 years.
1,000 years.
1,000 years, and she looks like Grandma Aggie as she does now in a 1,000-year span. So there's aging, and
We have
time works
Periwinkle as
differently in
well as an
HalloweenTown.
example.
Yeah, but HalloweenTown time works differently than the human world, but that wouldn't affect the body's aging, just the world aging. I'm trying to get: is Marnie really the age she says she is?
I kind of brought this up earlier in this podcast, but Ryder explained away. She spends her time on Earth more, so there's that.
Yes, but as I say, that's world aging, not the person aging.
Well, because you'd be aging slower in HalloweenTown, right?
Oh, I got it reversed.
Yeah. She would not be getting older in HalloweenTown. She'd be slowing. in
Okay.
age.
Okay. My mistake.
Yeah. But I mean, I get what you're trying to go for. Like, to me, I'm curious how old Aggie is in Earth years. Because 1,000 years in HalloweenTown is not 1,000 years in Earth years.
No.
Which
But
begs into question, when did the monsters get driven out of Earth, and how did that get completely turned into a legend, I guess?
Before the time travel thing. What was it, like 1480,
Yeah.
1380?
Yeah,
Something.
and also, how long was HalloweenTown established after the fact on the monsters driven? Because we see in the flashback, monsters are all about in quote unquote HalloweenTown, but I thought HalloweenTown was the sanctuary they made for themselves.
Well, some of them look like slaves.
Yeah,
That's definitely what they were going for.
there's a
So
class
that's true.
system.
They did make HalloweenTown to be
They got-
a sanctuary for the monsters.
They got
And
got
then we have-
driven out of the human world to be enslaved by Aggie. Nice.
They get enslaved by witches.
That's what it's kind of looking like.
That's true, because we get her as the leader. There's no king or queen above her that's established, and this is the making of HalloweenTown, so it does feel like she made that, which is kind of awesome for her character. That her origin is enslaving the monsters.
I don't know if I would say that's awesome.
I think that's pretty awesome that she's tossed that aside and made this sweet granny image. And she did talk about her having like a darker past in the first film, so I guess that could be them filling that in with this indirectly, because they don't really approach. You
Yeah.
enslaved the monsters, Grandma.
Yeah,
They
you-
don't do
she's you know what Aggie was? She was the good witch with the Tin Man during the reign over the Wizard of Oz land.
that.
The Land of Oz. That feels like she has a similar origin story. She was pure unadulterated evil, and then she just decided no.
No, I saw my future granddaughter, and it changed me.
That's kind of what it coming across as now.
Yeah, the only thing being, I guess, young Aggie seemed to get pressured from whatever the other force is at play, like
The
the Wart
Dominion.
Lady. Yeah, the Dominion. I guess they have power over her at that
Somehow.
point for some reason. Not explained. Or
Yeah,
dove
not
into.
explained. So questions. So many questions. So the world building, not good. Unfortunately.
Not amazing. Let's go with the Springs Point.
Snot Boy the Third, or whatever, apologizes for drooling to the Sinister Sisters because he drools when he thinks of food. Is that implying he sees them as food?
He certainly wants to eat something.
Oh, got it.
Ryder.
But sure. Luke and Marnie. Okay, so we kind of talked about this, the communication stuff. I was starting to get really annoyed with the mom, because she's just so desperately trying to talk to her kids, but like to the point of like talking to a toilet while clients are looking through the house.
That's the character trait they gave her.
Yeah,
An empty nester who misses her children.
yeah, that is the trait they gave her, but they gave it at the expense of all of her intelligence.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But at least it's an established trait. I mean, she's always been like a helicopter parent through these
yes,
films.
but she's also been one about not using magic.
Yes.
In front of people, especially.
So the trait of her being a helicopter parent is consistent, but the level that they cranked it to is just character damaging, possibly breaking, probably breaking.
I think breaking.
Yeah, probably breaking. Right, Ryder.
Sure, I can go again. I will jump to. I guess another. It didn't look great, but the flight sequence on the broom, we had the like cheesy music start up when they took off in the broom and flew around the university grounds before they went off campus.
Yeah, the green screen and the fan blowing on them.
Yeah, that.
There was a couple like especially just ugly parts.
Yeah.
50-20 when they're flying by in the town.
Is it possible
It just
that
looks
like
so bad.
yeah, did we get a reduction in like quality of like flight sequences, because this felt pretty bad comparatively to the other ones. Not that the other ones were great, but
I think it was
I'll say
budget.
it's a reduction from the third one. I think the third one has the best broom flying stuff, but I think this is on par with 1 and 2. 1 and 2 had pretty bad broom stuff. But 50-20 when they're flying by HalloweenTown, you can see the other assets of HalloweenTown, like the pumpkin and the lanterns around, are just like copy pasted onto the street and aren't sized properly, and it just looks like a normal road, and it's so bad.
They're
I
in
agree.
the middle of yeah.
It's not HalloweenTown they're flying through. It's just some random street on Earth that they just put the pumpkin on and didn't even size properly. It's terrible.
Couldn't agree more.
And then when they're flying around the school, the sizing of them is horrendous.
Oh,
There's a
absolutely. It's not
point where they
consistent,
fly
though.
around a tower, and they're like as big as the tower when they
It's
fly behind
it's
it.
it's no buckbeak flying sequence. That's for sure.
No, or the Hungarian horntail thing.
Hungarian
Or that.
horntail.
Chinese fireball.
Ooh. Yeah. Springs, you're up.
Yes, to go with those 4608 when they're on the broom, the footrest at the bottom disappears.
Oh, nice. Didn't catch that.
And Ethan's line of "What do you mean not right?" I don't know why it comes across robotic.
What do you mean not right? What was the context
His line
of that line?
of
I don't
when
remember.
the broom's like hexed or whatever, and they're coming down and gonna crash. He says, "What do you mean not right?" I guess Marnie says like this doesn't feel right or something previously,
Oh,
but that line is robotic and not clear.
yeah.
know
I guess
what's a-
it's not him reacting to a wacky broom.
You know what's a line that's really superfluous and dumb? Is when all the sinister, the dominion of witches are all around the cauldron, and they say like, "In a moment she will appear in the cauldron," and then she just immediately appears like a second
Yes.
afterwards. I'm like,
The-
okay, there was no build up, right? All right, sure.
Plus, they all know how this cauldron works. She doesn't have to describe. Ooh,
Such a-
Marnie
such
will
a-
show up. We know
such
they're
a wo-
gonna. She's gonna.
Such a worthless line of dialogue.
It really is. That is trash. That's wow. Springs, you want to go with another point?
Yes. 2809 when they're in the dungeon and Marnie's like looking down the hole and gets jumped or something and steps back. At 2809, they reuse the same shot of Marnie stepping back from the hole.
Yeah, like after they kind of shoved her in from when she
Yeah.
initially peeked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how much you love reuse shots.
It's lazy.
Yeah, that one. No disagreement on that.
Also, no one's looking at the box when it flies up.
Also
They're just
true.
like, Marnie, you got something in your hands.
They're too busy looking at the table of artifacts. Like that Grog or whatever his name was is describing. In the class where, oh, what's the lead sinister? Scarlet. Scarlet's cheating with the pen in class. That assignment, it's such a. Do you guys recall what the assignment was that they had to do?
It was write down your
The
knowledge
history of
Yeah.
HalloweenTown and Earth on one page. I was like, wow.
Man,
That's
I
not
don't
a lot
know.
of space.
I don't think I could do 1,000-year history on a single page, honestly. Unless it's like, you know,
Well, then again, Ryder, do you know 1,000 years of history?
Sprinkled throughout. Sure.
I guess it depends. I'm good at the Middle Ages. I could do the Romans. I could do the Egyptians. I can do.
Oh, I'm saying. Okay, got it. You wouldn't do HalloweenTown stuff like at all. You just have all the human stuff.
I don't live in HalloweenTown, so it's just I could fill in a hole with that.
Well, some of these people don't live on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be an informative essay.
I feel like in that regard, then Marnie should be the only one to pass.
Ryder, do you think right now, having seen the 4 movies, you could do a 1-page essay on the history of HalloweenTown?
It
what we
won't be.
know.
It wouldn't be consistent.
But you think you could do it?
I could probably do a recent history with the Cromwells. If that would be the focus of my essay, so maybe.
Interesting.
For 1 page,
Yeah,
on
for
the history
one
of
page,
HalloweenTown.
I can do that.
I could bullshit it
I could word
and
salad it.
expect to get a B-.
Yeah. 1 page is not too much. It's pretty simple stuff. So the history of not one world, but two worlds on one piece of paper. Kind of crazy. And Scarlett's
mean
also
by-
a terrible cheater. Huh?
What do you mean by word salad?
Well, you could say, these people did this, or you could say, well, these people were pushed into doing this because this other people. It's just like adding words to the
Oh,
same.
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you
word
meant
salad.
like instead of like your, you do you are.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
also
okay.
a way of stretching out an essay. It's doing that.
No acronyms.
Yeah, no, don't shorten anything. Stretch it out. Okay. Writer.
Not really a plot hole, because I think there's enough information to prevent it from being a plot hole, so it's just a nick. How quickly the Sinister Sisters just like show up at the ice cream shop, sabotage the broom, and then they leave. I think it works. I said nitpick because it's just a coincidence that everything happens all at once. Like they had a teleport spell ready to go to get there the second that their date got there. There is some setup for it because the adults are watching them through the cauldron, but then that would have to travel to the Sinister Sisters to do that, then do this with Dylan, to then also sabotage the broom. So there's a lot that they had to do very, very quickly. So it's not impossible, but it's still a nitpick because the through line of them getting there isn't right. It feels like convenient.
The convenience is a nitpick I would agree with as well. The only thing I would add more to make it worse is they'd have to know the identification of that broom because Ethan pulls it out of like the bushes or something. So Marnie didn't even know what it looked like.
Yeah, that's true.
And it would mean they'd have to do surveillance, which does not seem like the
Well, like I
patience
said-
either one of the three would do.
Like I said, I
The
feel like
Dominion is
I feel like the adults did that. That's what I said. The adults are the ones that pass along all this information, but the fact that they just nail it 100% without any issues is the convenience of the factor.
Also, have there been any teleportation stuff established in this world yet?
Yes, like I
There
mean,
has been.
people go between locations all the time.
No, I mean in universe stuff, not like movie.
Yeah, Crimson means
continuity.
like, is
Okay.
there any like Nightcrawler stuff?
Is
in
there
Halloween
any
now?
apparating in this? Because we see tons of transportations with like brooms. You got the flying bus in the first
You got
one.
Benny's car.
So, but we don't see teleportation. So I feel like they kind of have to establish that to
I'm
use
gonna
as
say no.
sisters teleporting.
All right. I mean, that just add that just makes the scene even worse. Well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I was inferring teleportation exists because they can fucking open portals.
They
So
can time travel and stuff.
yeah, they can time
but-
travel open portals. Somehow teleport doesn't seem that far fetched.
Yeah, but it is something not established or even like mentioned at any point either.
All right, yeah, then that
Why do
seems
we even
even
need to
worse.
take Benny if I could just blip there? I
That
don't
sounds like
understand.
something from the previous three movies that we'd be complaining about. It's like, how'd this person get here? They teleported. That's a problem. But now it's like, if they had the magic ability to do so, but they still don't show it.
I feel like we might have actually talked about teleportation in the first film. I don't know why.
I think it
tickling
was-
something.
I feel like it was the second one of how'd the mom get to the party.
I don't.
I feel like that was brought up.
The frog guy drove her to the party. I don't
I
remember.
feel like there was something like, how
This
did
was
this
years
person
ago.
get here?
I'm sure it's happened at some point. I'll talk about Sophie. We didn't really talk much about her.
Oh
except
boy,
the history
much to talk
section.
about.
Yeah. So she's getting trained by Aggie right now. And it's just weird because right now we know Aggie knows what's happening. She knows everything.
Yeah, she's
This already happened to her in the past. So it's just weird that she's taking this back seat, zero involvement in all of this.
yeah,
Well,
they
it's
don't
like
even-
Doctor
they
Strange
don't
and
even-
Tony Stark, you know? Can't,
they're-
if I told you it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's also terrible writing. But also, this is something like where they can like give an excuse at least.
Yeah, the excuse is she has to train Sophie.
Yeah, the
During all
excuse is,
these
oh,
years.
you're breaking up, dear. Good to
is
go.
is a reason is like is it a paradox if she helps? Like that would be something.
See, I don't even know.
No,
Like,
only if she went back in time with her and saw her younger self. But
I mean,
even
she
with
could
her
just tell
explaining,
Marnie, "You have the key. Open up the chest or something."
but she
Yeah.
doesn't.
No, but
No.
that could be Aggie misremembering from 1,000 years. Like you could make a comment like, "What do you mean? You have it, don't you?" Like something like
Oh,
that.
in that case, yeah, in that regards.
And then they could just be confused. Like Maggie might be like, "What are you talking about?" And then Aggie could realize, "Oh, it hasn't happened yet." Not say
But
anything and just cut this call short.
true. Seems like heavy foreshadowing, but also a little nick to Aggie's intelligence.
I mean, Aggie's been nicked with intelligence this entire time, so
Yeah, I mean, HalloweenTown High heavily damaged Aggie. I mean, we
Yeah.
even argued she's kind of a villain in that movie. So,
well, I mean, hey, she enslaves people. That's in character now.
it is a character trait of hers. She enslaved the monsters. Even if it's under the influence of the Dominion somehow. They don't explain it. So I'm just gonna go with it's her. She did that. All right. I guess I didn't even really talk about Sophie. That turned into an Aggie thing. So she's gone. I guess in terms of her character, it makes sense she'd be doing that stuff, but it's just lazy to write her off in this. Why not recast her? Marty was recast.
Budget.
A budget. Can't afford one more actor. I don't know. So just lazy on her part. And it's interesting that they were playing with time travel. It would be kind of cool to see that Sophie and Aggie were playing around in the background so Marnie could succeed when she went to the past or something. Let's go with Springs.
Does the mom have a tracker on Marnie?
Nothing established.
No?
No.
Doesn't know where Marnie is, just kind of like in HalloweenTown at the university, quote unquote.
I mean,
pretty much all the
I
mom
would
does.
argue the watch would be that, but hey, okay, actually, question: is not Marnie's mom teleporting in front of her? Is that not teleportation?
Teleporting.
She just appears in front of her after, like, "Mom, I wish you were here," and then she's just there. Is that not teleporting?
I'm gonna go with the portal because that was Human World to HalloweenTown.
Okay.
That's dimension travel.
It's lucky that she ended up there though, because otherwise she didn't had to get a ride from Benny to the school.
She didn't get a ride from Benny. Now I don't know if that's teleportation or them just being lazy.
It could be both, honestly.
I think it's just them being lazy. Because I don't think you're allowed to just appear at the school. You have to take transportation to get there.
All right.
I don't know.
I mean, breaking its own
I
rules
don't know
works
about
for
that,
me. Sorry,
but I would not classify it as teleportation.
Okay. Sorry, I distracted you from your point, Springs. Can you say it again? You sent me on a tangent there.
Well, my first initial question is: does the mom have a tracker on Marnie to know where she is at all times?
My guess would have been
Nothing
the watch,
established
but I
as a
think she
tracker.
lost. But she lost it, so that's at that point, no.
Okay, so my point is then how did the mom know that Marnie would be at the washer, at that exact washer, at that exact time to call her?
They explained that. Don't you remember? Marnie even asked her. He was like, "How'd you know I was doing laundry?" Well, that's what I did when I went to HalloweenTown.
That's a bullshit excuse.
I agree.
I did laundry on Wednesdays, like you.
No, absolutely.
That's what they
complete
said.
rubbish.
That's what they said.
No, that's the
Daughter
mom
like mother.
making a guess. She could have failed.
That's
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
Could
we
have been a
call.
stranger.
it
That
could
is
have
what we
been
call.
some other creature.
For all we for all we know, this version of the mom was just hovering over the toilet the entire day, waiting for. I agree, Springs. It's absolute bullshit. The
So
writing is
guess I
just
can
awful.
acknowledge they tried to. At least they acknowledged it, but the acknowledgement is trash.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. Speaking of acknowledging that, I think right afterwards, the ice cream scene, like they point out their own stupids in the film, and it doesn't make it better.
Yeah. So you're telling me this is not a perfect movie?
No.
I'm not following the example of pointing out their own stupids.
So like they say like, oh man, isn't it such a coincidence that the Sinister Sisters showed up? They say something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like a meta reference to events. Writer.
Sure. I think the broom. I like one of the scenes I did like is Luke and I keep saying Luke. It's Ethan.
Where
Ethan
is Luke?
yeah, I have no idea. Ethan and Marnie walking back after the broom crashed. I think I like that scene just a little bit.
Yeah, some good one-on-one time.
Yeah,
I feel
didn't feel useless.
yeah, I'm trying. They didn't really build like a relationship in HalloweenTown High, right? With Ethan, it's just they were just
No, not really.
There
classmates
was
essentially.
there was an implication of something, but nothing beyond that.
Yeah, it wasn't the troll girl and Dylan.
No,
Um,
no, that was certainly more.
yeah. So I guess their progression in this, I buy it. I don't think it's
Well, wasn't
too
there something
quick.
that they got caught in like a janitor's closet accidentally?
Janet's closet. She pulled him in to tell him something.
And they got caught?
Yes, by the principal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not rewatch any of the Halloween Towns before this coverage. I guess I didn't say that in my
Ditto.
history. I did not rewatch. All right. I will talk about, I guess, the past. I like the look of everything, like where Marnie shows up and you see Benny with a carriage, and all of that looks good to me. With the fog, the choice of doing it at night, all looks good to me. I think it's probably the best that this is the best this franchise has looked.
Ooh.
Yes, I think it is the best this franchise has looked. Just this past stuff. I'll make that claim. Don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that. How they did
It
with
looks
the
fine.
place.
I mean, I get what they're doing, so I think it's fine. Didn't really stand out to me as the best in the franchise, but I guess I've desensitized to Halloween Town.
I was like, is there anything that stands out as the best in the franchise then?
No.
The mom's makeup from Calabar's Revenge in the second one.
And that was good makeup. Not the sweatbox with the ghost. The first one.
No.
All right, bring syrup.
Yeah, when they're in the washing room, Ethan is trying to explain, I think, trying to understand Marnie a little bit better, and he is very quiet. Like, I don't know if he's just not lined up to the boom mic operator, but his audio is very quiet. And that's not the only instance of quiet audio in the movie.
I wouldn't say very quiet, but it is more quiet
Comparatively
than
to the
other
conversation
scenes.
they're having, yes.
Is that my timestamp in the reacts? Because there was also a part where I couldn't hear what the characters were saying. Like the audio was just
Possibly.
really weird.
The other instance I had it is when after the library, Dylan and Marnie are leaving, which I didn't understand why they waited to leave the library to ask what's in the box.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. I
at
think that's
41,
my. Yeah. I think
as
that's
they're
my
walking
timestamp.
towards the camera, Dylan is getting quieter,
Yeah.
even though he's still just talking normally to Marnie.
Yeah. I agree. The audio was really flubbed up right there.
I'll talk about something weird with the time travel. I know. But the pumpkin, the town square pumpkin, is established that Marnie gives it to Aggie, and Aggie uses it for HalloweenTown. But Marnie only knows it because it's part of HalloweenTown. So they kind of cause like an issue where Marnie only knows it exists because it exists, but it only exists because Marnie put it there.
Explain to me how that's an issue.
It's an Ouroboros thing. It eats itself. It's fine. Like I don't have a huge issue with that because it's consistent with the other rule being with the key.
Well, what would have to come first, Springs?
What do you mean?
Well, you're implying it's not an issue by having me break it down. So
I don't see it as an issue. It doesn't matter which one comes first. To me, it's not an issue with the established of this time travel being whatever happened. So this is how it's always been.
But it had to have an origin. This makes an absence of origin.
No, its starting place is Marnie going back in time and putting it there.
But you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that if it hadn't been present for her to know about it.
And the presence is because when her first time, quote unquote, seeing it in her present is the past of the world of her future. It's just not linear. It's two timelines coexisting differently of Marnie's and the pumpkin. And with the time travel this movie's showing, I don't see that as a problem.
Well, I guess that's our differing on time travel because I definitely see it as an issue.
Crimson.
Well, are you going with the time travel? What is the time travel of this movie? What's the ruling of it? Because there's many different forms.
Well, we kind of already talked about is what happened.
Okay.
I don't think anything got changed.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. There's not generally there are two time rule sets. I think I've talked about this before. There's the one where you can go and affect the past, and then there's one where you can go into the past, but whatever you do there doesn't necessarily affect your future. Doesn't necessarily affect your future. It's just always meant to happen.
Yeah. So
And
that's
operating
the
operating on the second rule set, I don't see how this is an issue.
Maybe I just think too linearly, I guess.
Maybe because like if
the point of you're asking for a point of origin. The point of origin is Marnie giving the pumpkin to Aggie. That's where the pumpkin starts.
Yeah, and then but obviously the fact that she figured it out in her, like she knows what the pumpkin is in her present. That's how she discovered it and like found it, first saw it. That's how she knows it exists. I think that is consistent because she just takes the knowledge with her and then makes the pumpkin in the past so that it exists as that way it exists in the rest of the timeline.
Yeah. If in the first movie she asked, "Oh, what was the origin of the pumpkin?" and Grandma Aggie's like, "Oh, let me show you," and takes her back in time, she's going to see a future version of herself place the pumpkin.
Do you guys view time as something that is ongoing or it's all happening at the same time.
Okay. So again, this will depend on what rule set I'm abiding by, because that changes depending on what I'm watching. Like Doctor Who has the whole wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff, and they kind of operate as like all the stuff that's happened in time is operating like all happening at once. That would be the rule set I would apply something more to Doctor Who than I would something like this or Terminator.
See, that's why I ask this question, because for me to make sense of this, I would have to see this as time is all at the same time.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I can't connect that dot. I don't. At least I don't need that to make sense of it, I guess.
What do you think? Or I guess Springs, with your view on the
I don't
time is straight line or at the same time?
I don't understand the term of at the same time.
So let's say there's a string. String represents all of time. Past, present, future, doesn't matter. The string is time. Now you can cut the string and that's where you want to be, but the string is still existing everywhere. So it's all happening at the same time. The string is there. With the linear thing where the string is constantly getting made, in front of the string is present. That's the present. The end of the string is present, and the all at the same time, the whole string is present. In this example. I don't know if I delivered that perfectly well.
The end of that second part didn't make any sense to me now.
Okay.
The string being made, being the present, makes sense because time is being made from the present of whoever's like the point of view. But saying the other end of the string is also present, that doesn't make sense.
In his example, he's referring to just the existence of the string all being in the same place at once, meaning that all of time is happening at once, right? Am I understanding your metaphor right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the end of the string would be the start of time, the other end would be like the present, because that's how time is moving linearly. But if we were to look at let's see, what's the best way to phrase this? Like in extra dimensional direction, if you were looking at our universe as a pocket dimension where everything happened all at once, like it's this perfect snow globe. The item exists. The fact that it exists all there, it's already all happening at once.
It's complex.
Yeah, it's a very complex idea.
I tried to make it simple, but I don't.
Yeah, sorry for the audience who are like, I thought we're just doing a Disney movie. I mean, Sinister was very big last week about, hey, not talking about time travel, so just kind of scratching the itch.
Try to make it simple, but it is a complex thing. But
it's a hard one to break down in metaphors. Yeah. Okay. So the only way you can accept this version of events is you have to have the full string happening all at once, Crimson?
Yeah, because with the end of the string being the time is going linearly, the events would be of the movies where you have Marnie learning about HalloweenTown and then having the movies. And then you have this movie where then she goes back in time, does the pumpkin, and then it keeps going forward from there. At the all at once, all of it happens at the same time. That I don't have an issue with, because in the linear one, the time travel hasn't happened yet for her to learn about the pumpkin. That's how I'm seeing it.
Okay.
Time travel hasn't happened yet for her to learn the pumpkin. What's that mean?
So you're saying the time travel happened already, establishing the pumpkin 1,000 years ago. In the linear thing, the time travel hasn't happened yet to put it in the past.
So you're saying without Marnie's time traveling being shown, the pumpkin we've seen from the previous movies has had an origin we don't know of, and Marnie's like rewriting history by placing one in the past. Is that what you're referring to?
Kind of. That gets into the weird thing we're talking about with the time travel. Is the linear is the moment of time travel is a moment in history. That takes place to then go back in time. That's when the pumpkin gets established after she does the time travel. But before that, yeah, she hasn't. The pumpkin isn't there yet. Which is why I think all time is together, which would explain that.
Okay, I guess more of a visual thing because I understand your first points you're making, but the last points I don't. Like
The
I
whole
like, I was
everything's
fo- I
happening
was
at
fo-
once thing.
No, I was following what you just said until you said the pumpkin wasn't there yet. That I don't get that because the pumpkin is there.
And I feel like I'm just going to tread on the same stuff, and we might just have to say we said our parts and move on because I feel like I'm just going to retread.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out another way to explain it, but that will take me a while, probably. I understand.
In the timeline,
okay.
the
So-
past is going to be the present, I guess, in terms of the timeline.
To me, it really you need to. I need to know the point of view of the individual or the object time you're talking about.
So
Because you're confusing me. I don't know if you're talking about the pumpkin or Marnie, or time itself.
time itself, because time is what's establishing where everything is.
Okay.
So, in the example of the time going straight, once the string I've been going with has already been made, you don't jump back on that line. You're still going forward on the line. So, Marnie going back in time is kind of going back in time, but it's still the present moving forward.
Only way that makes sense to me is because of Marnie.
Okay.
Marnie's self is still moving in her own future by going back in time. She's still aging and she's still going about her life how it's going linearly forward. Time isn't going backwards. Time's still moving, but she's just placed herself earlier in the line of time. I don't see how time travel keeps the line still going forward, even though the events of time travel are forward future moving for going back in time. That makes absolutely no sense to me. It would be Marnie's point of view of her future as she's aging and still going forward to be taking place from the past.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
I have no understanding how going time traveling to the past is still continuing a future timeline.
Yeah, that's how I see it as in this instance.
Man,
Okay.
I cannot wait to
Well,
talk
that
about
gets for me.
Endgame.
Don't get that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Marvel's
Endgame's
multiverse.
different.
It's not real
Yeah.
time travel.
Hulk tries to
Yeah.
explain time travel on that, and that's a different and with that explanation, different form of time travel.
All right. Well, that was a very long point of mine, so we'll go with let's go with Ryder.
All right. I think. Okay, next question. Is it teleporting when Marnie gets hit by a lightning bolt and appears in a dungeon?
Yes,
That you would consider teleporting.
that I would consider teleporting.
Okay.
I don't even remember the scene. When did she get hit by lightning?
Yeah, the minion throw a spell at her when she breaks free because she wants to chase after her self, Aggie.
Yeah.
And
And they send her to
then
the dungeon where
they
Periwinkle has to break her out.
just blast her with a lightning bolt and she just appears in the dungeon.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I guess that would be teleportation. Congratulations, Ryder. You found one.
Dude, I didn't think I'd have to look that hard, to be honest with you. The magic system here is pretty absurd. That's my point.
All right. We're Sprinks.
Dylan's ringtone for Marnie being just screaming is a dumb joke.
100%. I don't think it's in his character whatsoever.
Oh, I should change
If-
that ringtone. Oh.
If he's like, darn Sophie changing my ringtone again or something.
Oh, being pranked, yeah.
Why would Dylan have a screaming ringtone? He wouldn't have a screaming ringtone. So that's the only way I could see it being better is if, like, yeah, Sophie played with his phone or something.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just
It'd be
being like,
better if
oh, I should
So-
really change that. Just means like it's been that the whole time.
Yeah,
Weird.
I agree. It would be better if Sophie changed it.
Yeah.
It'd
Or
be
even,
funny.
I guess I could believe what this version of Marnie would have done it herself.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think I could totally buy Dylan doing that for his sister in like the end of Halloween, the first HalloweenTown. He would do that then, because the whole magic stuff goes over his head and he wants nothing to do with it. So that to me would make sense, but not this late in the game.
Having a screaming ringtone?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really picture him at any point.
Mind you, okay, let me specify. I don't think that would be in character for him, like completely, but it would be more reasonable to make an inference for his character at that point. Does that make sense?
Yes. Regardless, out of character, but more in character the younger he was.
Yes.
Is that what you're going with?
Kinda,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I'll talk about the arbitrary rule of any spells casted at midnight on Halloween on the grounds of the school are now permanent. It's so
Silly.
weird and specific, and if it was
Did
like
they
a
say
whole
on Halloween?
Yeah.
Any spells cast on Halloween or any spells before or like at Halloween will become permanent?
By Halloween night, it becomes permanent. You could do like the day after you do a spell, and it lasts a whole year, and then
Okay, so it
becomes
does.
permanent.
Okay, so casting a spell on the 30th, when it becomes the 31st, the 30th spell is totally fine. It
Yeah,
says
it
spell
doesn't make
cast
it
on
permanent.
the 31st becomes permanent.
Any spell that is still casted by midnight becomes permanent.
But it doesn't have to be cast on Halloween.
No.
Okay, that's what I was clarifying.
Like if a witch had like a floating candle in their bedroom and they had to constantly keep the spell in their mind to keep it floating, by midnight it would just stay. They don't have to think about it anymore.
Yes, but they wouldn't have to do that spell on the 31st and wait 24 hours to become permanent. They could have done it
Correct.
November
that's my
1st,
understanding.
waited a year. Okay.
That's my understanding of it. Because
I was just clarifying with what you said.
Teacup,
It made it sound like you said it had to be on Halloween Day.
No, that's just when it's permanent. The teacup incident where the class turns into teacups permanently. Kind of a funny joke because they're drinking out of teacups, but big incident.
Yeah, it really makes it sound like that class was on Halloween Day and they didn't have enough time to solve it. Because if it was prior, then they're just really dumb for not knowing how to fix it.
Absolutely.
Especially for something like students turned into teacups, where we see in this movie just being like, oh, time travel? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. Essentially.
The class was held at 11:50, and they didn't have the 10 minutes to solve it. So
There was just this prankster who just turned them all into teacups 1 minute before midnight, and no one could do anything about it.
Yeah, a real group of pranksters.
It's a weird thing
Should
to
have been a
throw
plot
in.
point.
I mean, it's something they could use in the other movies. Like Cal could have gone to the school grounds, casted the dark spell, and by midnight it would have been a permanent spell.
Yeah, but it wasn't established back then. Wasn't
Well,
part of
it's
the
not.
1,000-year prophecy.
I guess not. So just more of them adding things and causing damage to the past.
Yeah, really making Calabar look like a stupid guy in the first movie now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we already agreed he was stupid, I think, during the coverage, but that's just us.
Oh yeah, but just at the first movie, it's like, oh, he's silly. Now at the fourth movie, it's like, wow, he was really stupid. He didn't know any of this.
He was mayor
council.
too. What an idiot.
He was
Yeah.
the mayor, yeah. I mean, he probably attended this school. They could have mentioned that he was also part of the Dominion, because they mentioned Ethan's dad was. It's kind of I think, a good tie-in that they did that. Didn't feel too
yeah,
shoehorned.
Yeah, shout out to Ethan for like calling out the Dominion for thinking they're suspicious, and Marnie just completely ignoring him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the other Dominion members that are just random people in cloaks. Find that funny.
I just feel like they're all teachers. They all work at the university.
Most likely.
Yeah, be cool to get more on them, I guess.
Would it?
No.
Yeah. Like you. Yeah, I don't know if it would.
Sorry, I won't hold that. That was a lie. I can't guarantee that it'd be cool, but.
All right, writer.
Oh sure. Marnie gets back, immediately opens the box with the key without looking around, even though the witch chancellor lady is good witch or whatever is like right there.
Because she's stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's stupid.
This is the part where the plot really fell apart for me and the character Marnie. Like it was held together by strings at this point, but it went down.
Yeah, let's just randomly turn Dylan into a dog.
Yeah, it was pretty random. Marnie could have asked her genie friend to put her in the lamp to open the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom! No prying eyes.
She could have just hid the key and made an excuse, and then like she made an excuse like I just came here to try other spells, but no, it's not.
Right. Or the whole movie has been up to this point of like, what's in the box? We gotta know what's in the box. Everyone's dying to know what's in the box.
But we know what's in the box. We see this in the past. We know exactly what's in the box. Why does Marnie immediately just die for it? She knows exactly what it is.
Yeah, it could be in a letter like, "Hey, this is a fake locket. The real locket's hidden away." Haven't seen that before. But.
With the initials, what was it? RLB or something?
Something B.
Regulus something black. Yeah, Marnie, not smart. Actually, I'm going to talk more about the genie friend. What was her name?
Oh, she has a name? I just call her Genie.
Anissa. She's
there.
So background, but present. She's not removable because she does have impact on stuff, but it's just she's nothing. It's so weird. She has screen time, but she doesn't have a character. It's so peculiar.
The most she does is give us exposition about the school, like how when all the boys are just making food appear on the sisters' trays and stuff like that. She gives exposition there. She makes some commentary for. She pokes some fun at Ethan's and Marnie's relationship.
You know what? I think I'm going to say it. With the runtime and the story and the plot of this movie, too many characters.
Whoa.
To efficiently do what they're trying to aim for, I think there's too many characters.
I just don't think they utilize them well.
Yeah, you could utilize her better. I put this on the onus on the writing because there are movies that have a lot of characters that are relatively short. So
true, but I just feel like a lot more would be changed to utilize them better without extending runtime.
And look at TV shows. You got like half-hour pilots.
Well, that's a TV show. TV show's got so much time to do a ton of stuff in a season.
Well, even in a pilot where they establish the characters and stuff, feel like they can do a good job in a short amount of time.
True, but the
Yeah,
end of
not
the
the entirety.
pilot isn't the end.
No. So I don't think it's too many characters. I just don't think they do a good job with the characters. If maybe Snot Boy, I don't think they need Snot. Is Snot Boy removable?
I would replace all. To be honestly, Snot Boy is more removable than Genie. I would give all of
Definitely.
Snot Boy's scenes to Genie, outside of the one where he's groveling after the Sinister Sisters. Because Genie's supposed to be like the hall monitor or something, like she's a mentor or whatever. Like that makes sense. She would be running the volunteer stuff, you know. So have her give the speech at when he's trying to get volunteers.
Divide Snot Boy stuff to Jeannie, Ethan, and Dylan.
The only thing I think that Snot Boy really adds is he's our window
Humor.
of a monster.
Yeah,
Because we don't really have monsters as a character. Jeannie's the closest, but even
She's
Sphinx
human.
is like she's essentially
human.
So he's like our gateway of a monster, but I don't think that's a requirement. So I'm on board with getting rid of him, and our change is just give his lines to the other cast members. I'm on
Yeah.
board with that.
okay, I'm okay with that.
So that's two.
Yeah, hang on.
He is nothing for the climax
Yes.
with the gem.
Nope, I'm
Yeah.
on a yes. If you divide up his parts to the other three characters, yeah, totally removable.
All right, sorry, burp the third. You're on the list. I feel like it's been a while since we've added anyone to that list. Actually, I feel like the Scooby Doo season. Or no, there's something else.
That was
Like
that was the
Daphne
big
was
one.
The last one.
I think there was one in between Scooby Doo and this, but I don't remember who.
I don't know.
Which
I
is why
still
we
think the Airbud one is the craziest one.
I feel like if we went back, we might change that because I feel like we've gotten stricter on what it means to keep
Maybe.
a character.
I think the number one, like most on that list, that makes completely sense is the dad from Big. That's such a great
Kind
removal.
of. Because he barely constituted as a character
He's-
for me.
True, but he's nothing in that movie.
He is nothing. I mean, he's got what 30 seconds of screen time. He's not much of a character. But yeah. Specs point, please.
In the library at 39:42, cutting between shots between Marnie and Dylan. Dylan's head does not match up to previous shot changes.
Like the direction of where he's looking, or okay.
His head is in different locations. And that note finishes my first page. I am now on page 2.
Is it a full page?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not for this movie.
Not for this film. All right. Let's go with the writer.
Sure. Dylan's like crazy like room after he gets hexed because he's doing everybody's homework. Actually, you know what? I already gave this point. Never mind. Let's find something else.
Well, I mean, we can piggyback on that. We established he uses magic for stuff. Why isn't he using magic for that? We see him combing through a book and actually reading normal.
Yeah, my only read of that is he's doing that specifically to impress the Sinister Sisters. Like, oh, I can do this all without magic. But I'm just guessing because he's under a hex.
Yeah, you think he would do his best to impress, and the magic would do that.
Yeah.
But that was me piggyback on a false point, so you can go make another one.
It's kind of convenient that the Sinister group could just fucking pull Marnie through a TV screen.
Yeah.
It's- I guess that would also be another form of teleporting, but that it's just convenient that that can happen, so they can have the face-to-face conversation, and so everything's laid out so that we understand it.
Agreed. Yeah, don't have much on that. And yeah, I guess that is also a form of teleportation. Aggressive teleportation. Sprinks.
Now, this is a Disney Channel movie, so I feel like it's pretty clear for them to show traits of this person's a good person and this person's a bad person. And I really picked up a detail because it's so small, and I don't understand why they didn't do it. When Ethan and Marnie are at the ice cream parlor and they get their ice creams, Marnie says thank you. Ethan doesn't. And I know it's so small, but it just makes me question, why the heck didn't he say thank you?
His mind was elsewhere.
Oh,
He's
well,
just fixated on Marnie.
well, you forget, Springs. His dad was evil, so he still has to learn how to.
You have to
Exactly.
learn manners.
That made me question, is he a bad guy?
He didn't say thanks, man.
He didn't. He's just fixated on Marnie, and he goes, "Oh, healthy appetite. I like that in a girl." And I'm like, "All right, dude."
What a sinister angle. No, I'm just going to chalk
I don't know,
it up to they didn't do a good job writing.
I just feel like it's just a small thanks or thank or something under his breath to just go into the next scene or audio cut or him just
Sure.
not saying it after Marnie's just made me feel like he's not good for a Disney movie. Like you gotta, keep the nice people nice. And that wasn't very nice, and I just
Marnie's not very nice.
well, no, but she's also very stupid in this movie. But I don't know. It was just I know how small of a detail it was, but it just was very confusing for the tone of the like what this movie is and its audience. So
Well,
we saw that the Dominion got sent to the Phantom Zone or the Mirror Dimension, however you want
oh yeah, no, that
to
was
call it.
yeah, it's wherever the heck Superman put Zod.
Yeah, that's the Phantom Zone. It's I don't know, weird way of doing it, and the knockdown effect on the Sinister Sisters, where they lost their powers, I didn't fully understand.
no, I didn't understand that either.
Their powers come from their dad, which doesn't make sense because Marnie's powers don't come from Aggie, so
Or her mom.
or her mom, or like just lineage doesn't cut down the magic tree line or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know how that worked. They just don't have it.
And Ethan doesn't have powers, or he chooses not to use powers. I don't remember what the answer to that was.
He does
I
not have
think he
powers.
doesn't.
He says he
No.
lost his powers for some
Because
reason.
of his dad.
HalloweenTown High. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
something.
So I guess that might be a setup of just banishing bloodlines of magic or something, which is a pretty harsh punishment.
Kind of absurd, but I guess.
Maybe they can get it back. I don't know.
Also, on the track of it being a Disney movie, that line where the Dominion had captured Marnie in the past, and they were talking about just eliminating her and killing her, and then they teleport her away to a dungeon. I'm like, all right.
We'll kill her later. We'll make a show of it. No, you're
Well,
right. That doesn't really go hand in hand.
By the way, we're not going to continue it, but I looked at my notes. The mom's name is Gwen.
Yeah, I've said her name several times in this.
Oh, I just keep saying mom. But I just looked at my notes and it just says, this movie makes Gwen the mom look like a lunatic.
Did you actually write Gwen the mom?
Yes, Gwen,
That's funny.
the mom, look like a
You had to
lunatic.
do that to
I
remember
know-
who Gwen was.
I don't know what context that this note is for. Could be the toilet, could be the bird bath, could be something. I don't know.
That's funny. More stuff about the past films. Cal is still out there. Don't know if you guys remember, but he kind of just flew away at the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not being paid off ever.
Still
Until
not
the
around.
fifth movie.
I kind of wish he was part of the Dominion at this point, just to get him involved.
That'd be something.
Because when the Dominion members get caught up by the gargoyles, you see the three members. You got Sinister, McGonagall, and Gronk or whatever. The football player, of course. All trapped in there, and then you got like three hooded nobodies behind them. Like, that's just funny. We don't know who any of these guys are. Grog, that's what his name was. Writer.
All right. I will. I think I like the idea of them. Obviously, Marnie, when she gets back, she needs to storm into the party and get her brother. But so it's right before he's turned into a dog. I like just a little bit that the witches have locked all the creatures outside with a magic barrier, and then Marnie opens it. I don't know. That was just a tiny little nugget of something I appreciated.
Take those nuggets where you can.
Yeah.
I'll bring up just a line that is used in freaking everything. That it's kind of to the level, I think, with Sprinks in the Salem witch trials, where any time where I just hear "he's right behind me, isn't he?" or something akin to that, I'm just like, ugh. It's too much. It's in too many things. It's not funny anymore. He's right behind me, isn't he? And this is in the dungeon when Grog is behind her.
It's too much of a Scooby-Doo line.
Yeah, it's just way too used in media, movies, shows, what have you.
What if they put a spin on the line?
I mean, if they make it a bit more creative, I guess. But how would you make it more creative? Grog's behind me, isn't he?
What if the person says, "I'm right behind you, aren't I?"
There you go. That would be a good spin. I'd take it.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
I just need to find a movie or show that does that.
Oh, I know something that has that, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. All right. Sprinks.
I was confused, and hopefully I got this correct because I'm just going off of my notes. Marnie goes with Ethan to go talk to Dylan about the plan, but wasn't it the plan for Ethan to talk to Dylan?
About what?
The plan was for Ethan to kind of get Marnie through the door, I think, but yeah, something like that.
Okay, I thought it sounded like Ethan's like, "Oh, I'll go talk to Dylan about it, don't worry, because there's something between like you two already. Let me handle it." Yet when they get there, Marnie does it all, and Ethan doesn't say like anything.
Because we need Marnie to be the main focus of this movie.
It just meant that whole previous bit of a plan seemed like all a lie.
Plans change.
Sure.
Also bad writing.
Okay. Also bad writing.
I wish I found out how much time they had to write this movie. Turns out they had 2 days.
To quickly touch up on the whole Salem witch trials and the right behind me, isn't he? I don't have an issue. It's just about the implementation for me, as always.
I have no issue with the Salem witch trials thing. It's more just like I'm annoyed to hear or see something.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
I'm sure you probably have something like that about something.
Maybe. Don't remember right now off the top of my head. I was just it would be nice to hear about. It would be nice to hear about the New England witch trials, or any of the European ones. That would have been fun. But everyone focuses on Salem because that was so dramatic, I guess.
What's the iconic one? So easy to reference.
Hooskow. How the hell does she know what a hooskow is?
I don't even know what a Huskow is.
I don't think that's a common thing to know.
Well, what is it?
I don't know.
You
But
didn't
Marty
look it
knows.
up.
She goes, the Huskow. And I
Huskow.
go, how the heck do... What are you talking about?
What scene is that?
In the past, in the time travel.
The Huskow.
Also, Marnie has no care whatsoever for the space-time continuum.
Huskow is a slang term for a jail.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I've
it.
never heard
She
that.
gets teleported in there. She goes, I'm in the Huskow. Get me out of here. I'm like, what?
That's that's an interesting one.
Hashtag
But
the
now we
more
know.
you know.
Huskow. You learned something from a return to HalloweenTown. Never
Gonna
know
forget
what you're gonna learn from something.
I need a frying pan.
Huskow. Frying pan. Want to bash it out? Writer.
Sure. This speaks to me of like how badly written the film is. The Dominion agreeing to like Marnie like pretending to be queen, thinking that she's not gonna do anything. Really stupid. Also, really stupid of Marnie to demand this when Dylan's like captive right now.
That was gonna
Yeah,
be
like-
my next point.
That was such a awful scene.
As you wish, my queen. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, like I said, it would be fine to earn those lines, like if the Sinister actually like, okay, you know, I respect you, but we still need you to do this, that sort of thing. Like I didn't get a sense of like proper blackmail into doing this.
No.
No, they were willing. They
Especially
thought
since
they flipped
Ethan
it.
and Dylan are within eyesight of like, oh, Dylan's right here. He's not caged up.
It was awful.
It really was. They cranked it up to cartoon bad guy, but not even a good cartoon bad guy.
Yeah.
The underdog
Oh,
guy.
Mr. Bond, you shall die today while I leave the
What's his
room.
name?
I guess. How do you guys feel about the Marnie's plan? Actually, we haven't really talked about it with destroying the amulet necklace thing.
Man, the Dominion just stood there and did nothing for all of 5 minutes.
They really did. They did nothing.
That
And
is
I feel
my thoughts on the plan. Like it feels like there's no defensive magic at all in this world.
I mean, she could have used it on them and then destroyed it. But no, she used it on her own allies to, I guess, trick them into thinking she's doing what they want.
Which
That
I don't
doesn't make
understand why
sense.
yeah, which is why it doesn't make any sense. Why would she need to pretend? She has the fucking amulet.
She could either use it on them or just destroy it. The whole faking them out to then destroy it where they still can interfere but they don't makes zero sense.
So what if, and hear me out here, the Dominion just want to bring a little bit of order to HalloweenTown. They're not going to kill anybody. They're not going to enslave everybody. And their plan is they just need this thing to give them the power to make the world a better place.
They were good
so
guys all along.
Yeah, so Marnie, in her evil, twisted sense, right, decided, oh, I'm going to dangle this in front of them and then break it. I'm not going to even bother using it on them because they're just so beneath me in my evil witchness or whatever.
They were going to use it to give all the non-magical monsters magic so they can all use magic at the school. Yeah, they were being inclusive. Man, Marnie. Taking in Aggie's footprints of being a secret bad guy. Alright, Sprinks.
Comment leavers, you can slow down your comments. It's Dick Dastardly. That's who I was looking for.
Stick Dastardly?
Yeah. Cartoon bad guy. He's not from Underdog, but...
Okay.
No magic use, but Dylan just has super speed in his bedroom. So they just ramp up the speed. Which was odd. And then when Marnie's going to open the box, they have really bad slow-mo.
Very bad.
Yes, very bad. Also for Dylan, he's gonna go offer the Sinister Sisters punch. That's not punch, that's slime that falls on him.
Let's
Yes.
punch in HalloweenTown.
Slime punch.
Need to be established.
Man, there's just a couple parts in my notes that I do not remember context of. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I'll bring up Benny, past Benny, carriage Benny. Knowing what a taxi is, I don't think taxi was a medieval term, was it? To taxi somebody.
Well, there was taxi people across waters, like waterfronts, which was a term I know they used in Knight's Tale.
Yeah, that's Knight's Tale. It just doesn't feel like an old time word.
The taxi vehicle
I'm
itself,
reaching.
no, but taxi to like shuttle someone is a term. Don't know.
Mr. History over there, you got anything, Ryder?
I'm looking up the etymology of the word right now.
Deep diving into taxi.
Yeah.
Taxi somebody.
It used to refer to, in the 1900s, it referred to horse-drawn carriages. So,
1900s.
yeah, a shortened form of taximeter cab referring to a horse-drawn carriage.
Well, this was 1,000 years ago, so this precedes
Yeah,
that.
it's still inaccurate, but it's neat that it still was attached to a horse-drawn carriage.
So I guess they got the timing of it wrong. Or HalloweenTown originated the term.
That could be.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think they'd have to set that up.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
Right. Ryder?
Let's see. The mom just spins around and gets into her witchy outfit. We haven't seen her in a witch outfit, right? Before?
Trying to
The
think of her
mom?
outfit at the party in the second movie. I think she was in a witch outfit because that's how she got turned into a witch. Because they all got turned into their costumes they were wearing.
She had a cloak on, and then Cal put the mask on her. No, she had the mask on top of her head, so she could see because she was looking for.
Okay. So that's a costume, not her like proper like I'm gonna be a witch now outfit. So we haven't really seen
not
that
her
on
HalloweenTown attire.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Thumbs up then. I'm happy that we finally got to see her 4 movies in put on her proper HalloweenTown attire.
I suppose so. Well, it took 4 movies. All right. Springs.
Ryder, you brought up last week when we covered Army of Darkness that you were glad that Arthur in that film was not the Keen Arthur to interact with the past and that they're separate. How do you like that the Cromwells are related to Merlin and connected to Keen Arthur?
Oh, they're not related to the story at all, as far as I'm concerned. They're related to like Merlin's cousin or something like that. That's fine.
Marvin.
Yeah, that didn't bother me at all.
Marlin's cousin is still related to Merlin.
Yeah, see, like I said, that's just a subjective thing, and in this case, it was distant enough it didn't bother me. Like if they brought in like actual Merlin and actual King Arthur and had them do dumb shit, then it would bother me on a subjective level. But they didn't do that. They just like, oh, yeah, we know like Merlin's cousin or brother Marvin, something like that. That's fine.
Okay.
Subjectively, anyway. Doesn't annoy me. I just took it as a reference, as I took everything else.
What do you guys think Periwinkle has been doing for 1,000 years?
Teaching.
I mean, her secret job of sussing out the Dominion.
I don't know how real that is. Again, she's by herself. She just does things like traps him because she thinks that's what she needs to do. She's not reporting to anyone.
I mean, she kind of states that she's part of an organization, right? I forgot what
Yeah,
she
but
called
anyone could
it.
have said that.
The Anti-Dominion League. That's
Yeah,
what
but
she
what if
called it.
Snot Boy said it?
No, she said it.
No, what I'm getting at is anybody could have said it. Because there's no other people around to be like, good work, you did it. Like, it's just, I'm part of this. Boom. Got him.
Yeah, I guess, but it's weird saying league with one person.
Maybe she, like I said, maybe she gives her reports to the mirror. It's all delusion. She is the Anti-Dominion League.
That's what I'm saying. If Snot Boy just like, I'm a part of the league. Boom. Got him. I was
It
an
would be-
undercover student this whole time. It's like the same thing.
We don't know how deep it goes.
Yeah, that's just
Or
such.
how
It's like
shallow.
it's like an unnecessary line that implies world building, but we have no evidence to support it.
It's a way to trap the bad guys without adding more actors for like police of someone we already have.
They
Well, see,
really should have just had her connected to the council.
I mean that,
That's all
or
they
she,
needed
or
to do.
that, or she could show up and have Aggie be there, waiting to capture them too.
That could
Yeah.
have been it.
Aggie could have been useful.
Oh, you're right. We can make
Also-
Aggie useful.
Aggie's been sitting there letting the corruption boil for all these years.
Yeah, not
'Cause
Aggie,
She
Splendora.
knows. Well, both of them. Oh, Splendora. Yeah. Yeah. I never wrote that name in my notes.
I wrote it because it was a Star Wars moment, which is what was foreshadowed earlier.
Writer.
All right, I'll let you know, boys. I'm getting thin, so I will.
Eat a sandwich.
Haha. Yeah. Marty was given evidently the most powerful object in all of magic history because it can just directly influence people, and can't do anything to directly stop the Dominion for some reason.
Yeah,
So-
it's like I said. Once she had it, she could have controlled them, but she didn't do it. She controlled her own friends.
Yeah, she like I said, she wanted to play with them, the heroes of the town, the Dominion.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Do you think they naturally did a good job with the setup of you can't control another wit? You can only push them in a direction they already feel, type deal.
I would
Well,
say
they
not
did
a good
Dylan.
job, but an acceptable one.
Okay,
That's kind of
so,
how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's an acceptable one because it comes up in a kind of a nonchalant way. If you want to draw the audience attention to it, you need to do something a little bit more explicit. So like make that a part of like the history lesson or whatever, like why you can't do this. And it would also be interesting to get the perspective of like the professor because he's obviously in on it and knows what they're after. So then he can also talk a little bit about the legend. You can, you can build up to it in the same way, like, when Hermione asks Sirius Black about werewolves,
Or Mad Eye with the unforgivable curses.
Yes, you can
Mad
make
Eye
it
notes, huh?
important.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, you know it's
That
bad
springs out.
if I'm giving JK credit.
Springs out your second page. No second.
Getting thin as well.
All right. Well, you can go next because I'm also getting thin.
Okay. Why are the guards to the castle outside the castle wall, or outside the castle rather than being inside it? To
Same
protect
reason the catapults are on the front lines.
Okay, so it's not unreasonable for have guards outside the castle, because people are coming in to trade and stuff like that. They don't necessarily need to search wagons, but they're just there to make sure no one's causing trouble outside the castle. So that's not unreasonable. Yeah, that's my only bit on that, I guess.
All right. Ryder, you can go if you still have anything.
I appreciate the color coordination with everybody's magic. Everybody's magic is a different color. It's convenient, but you know, it helps.
I don't fully understand the destruction of the amulet. I guess she used Genie's lamp to take the amulet, and then used three Cromwell, or yeah, it was Cromwells, right? Three Cromwells to destroy it.
And instead of
It just
destroying it, she
seems-
teleports it to Dylan.
Exactly. Somehow, it just seems unnecessary. Such a spectacle. And what blew up? How did she teleport it to Dylan? What's going on? Why?
Sure.
Why did she keep it? Why didn't she destroy it? Is she
I
really
have-
corrupt, like writers saying?
I have no idea.
Just-
I mean, is probably not gonna. Dylan's not gonna do anything malicious with it, but she is definitely gonna research the shit out of it. I think.
Well, Dylan, yeah, I don't think he'd have any malicious intent. Sprink's thoughts on any of that?
No. I think
No?
you got it well.
Okay. Sprinks, you can go next.
I get that it's for like animal handling and the sake of like out of world, like the film production of it, but it doesn't make sense to me why Dylan's on a leash.
Is Dylan as a dog, or is he just a dog?
I feel like Dylan would be Dylan. I don't know. He's not barking at people or running away.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like that's also something they need to establish. When
Marnie sees him in the
Dylan-
cage, they add in a whimpering sound effect. So it sounds like he's sad when he sees Marnie. He's not crying the whole time.
I suppose so. Dylan just didn't do anything as a dog. He didn't even try. He gave up. He's a quitter.
I concur. I guess it's kind of a superfluous point because I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now. But I think it's the genie who's like, oh, still only getting one word out, huh? And then they just walk away. It was kind of fun to jab at their relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
What was the
Really? I was really hoping for them to do a rule of 3 on that joke. Of the hey joke. They do it 4 times and they failed.
It's not a hard rule. Let's see. I think I'll just go with just the magic in this freaking universe. The imbalance of everything. Is you have, I think it was the previous one. Pretty sure it was the previous one where Marnie was changing the size of the house and stuff. She's manipulating size.
You mean Gwen?
And then, no, in the last one, where she was like, "I'm a level 2 witch. I can." shoot
Oh,
people and
right.
stuff." To which
Yeah,
the
all the levels went out the window.
yeah, they did. Levels gone. Which could be interesting in a school setting, talking about magic levels. They could have said that the spell used on the paper was a level 1 spell, too weak for the genetic fingerprint. They didn't even do that. And then in this, we have Gwen changing the layout or shape of the house. They're just so darn strong. Why don't they manipulate anything else at the school?
Well, you have to be to time travel.
You just need someone else, I guess.
Oh, so 2 level 1s?
I mean, the time travel was established before she was level 2. So yeah, level 1. You just need to be a level 1 wizard for time travel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like this was talked about in California's Revenge. Maybe I don't know.
It
It was
most
talked
definitely
about
was.
It was talked about whichever one established the levels. I think that might have been HalloweenTown High, but we definitely talked about that. That time travel's a low levels spell. It's wild.
Absurd. Fucking
Unless they
absurd.
believe, whatever happened happened. So no matter what you do in the past, nothing's going to change anything, which is dumb as
Yeah,
a
then
safety regulation.
then it's superfluous. Then time travel. What's the point? All right, I'm tapped out. Sprinks, you got the floor.
Okay. Right, I brought it up earlier about Gwen's appearance in her witch outfit. Didn't show her arriving, so I guess that's just money saved on magic.
Yeah, that's why I said
the
it. That's
writer
why I asked if it was
references the
teleporting.
teleport. Yeah.
Because she
But I
just
still think it
appears right after she asks like the question.
Yeah, but I still think it's dimension hopping because she came from human world.
Yeah.
So,
Like I said,
um,
yeah. I will reiterate my counter to that. It's already in the podcast.
Yeah.
My last point is I actually like the scene where Ethan finally admits he's mortal. And then the sub scene to that when Marnie's mom goes, "Oh, no wonder I like that boy."
Good job, Gwen.
Yeah. One character trait that they managed to keep attached to you. I appreciated it.
I hit the Sprinks. Go ahead.
I will end with two last notes. First one being at 1 hour 26:13 when Dylan's looking through the book and the necklace or the amulet is in the book. The string changes between shots and is not in the same place. My last note I have after watching this whole movie and the credits is I wrote down no theme song.
The same issue persisted onto this one. But hey, you got Benny this time.
I did. Benny was in this. Still no theme song.
Yeah. I guess I have one last one. That was Dylan's magic of the speed reading and stuff. It's such a spectacle. There's books, pages, words flying all
Words
over the
hitting you in the
place.
face.
It's pretty extra. But it's kids movie. Gotta make it all fun.
Yeah, like Halbor's Revenge time travel. Gotta make that look all fun. That's a nightmare to look at.
Yeah. Good thing they didn't put it in this one.
Yeah.
But I did like how the portals looked in this though. The effects. I think that's the best effects in this movie are the particles of them going through the portal. Though they are not consistent with the effect every time a portal is used. But when they do, I think that actually looks good. All right. Any random pop-up ones? Or are we good to move on?
I think I'm good.
Right, are you good?
I'm also good. Yeah.
All right. That concludes our main section, and we are on to the ratings recap, review summary section. Blah 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 blah. Sprinks, you can go first.
Sweet. I'll start with my objective. As soon as I finish this movie, I finished my last note and credits, and I flipped my page over to write down my objective and subjective. I wrote down 5.5 for my objective. And then I sat on it, and I thought of everything, and I looked over my notes, and that number has changed. So this movie has bad acting. It's just kind of all around. I think even the kid actors are pretty bad. Dylan's okay, but I would not say he's great acting. Ethan's okay, but he has like no emotion really to play off of. A lot of the characters seem to stick to one trait of emotion and don't change from it. Like there's no additional sadness or humor or anger, or it's just like this is the one emotion this character is going to have, and that's kind of all they stick with throughout the movie. I think the writing is pretty darn bad, and because of the bad writing, affects the pace of the movie to feel a little clunky to try to get this makeshift plot along. Um, of like, oh, we got to figure out who Splendor is. Okay, I'll just time travel. Uh, okay, it's just time travel, and you get the whole time travel bit, and then you get the box, and then you get the bad guys, and the bad guys are just like, oh yeah, we'll trust Marnie to do it, and then end a movie. And there are, I didn't see a lot of lighting issues necessarily. I think the lighting's overall pretty fine for interior and exterior. The camera shots are pretty fine, just kind of basic. Feels like every other kind of Disney Channel movie. So I don't really have a problem with that. Nothing really like crazy or creative. The effects are okay looking, but how they interact with the things in the world don't look good. Like how the actors aren't looking at the effects, or how the effects and the real world correspond. So not great. The sound effects is crazy. There's too many weird noises and like pig squeals and people screaming and sound effects in the background throughout the entirety of the movie at any point in the movie, just to be like, there's monsters everywhere. Best part about the movie, which I feel like I've talked about the other HalloweenTown movies, is the costume and makeup. I think the costume and makeup for the monsters looks pretty darn good. It's really sad that those are kind of like all background characters, like the pumpkin heads and the mummies and the trolls and all that. They're all like the background with the detail that they go into the work on them, and the ones that we actually get camera focused on all just look like humans with the genies and the witches and humans and whatnot. A little detrimental, but I do think the makeup is really good. Geez, I always forget something. Right, I'm resting at a 3.5. I don't think this movie was made very well, and I don't think they had the effort to want to make this movie very well, which is sad. And because of that, subjectively, I have this at a 3. I don't really like this movie at all. It's something I don't need to see again. A big hit is the music. Music like takes off like a point and a half. It's such a really damn cool theme song, and it's so catchy, and it really has the vibe of the first two movies, and it's just not here, and it's really sad. And I don't know why they don't have it, especially just to play like during the credits or something. I don't like Marnie at all. I don't like this Marnie at all. She's very stupid, and her actor is worse than the previous one. And it's not something like the coincidences of the world just fall into her lap with plot armor. It doesn't really fully feel like that, but it does feel like the movie in the world of the story being told is Marnie's point of view is going to be a positive one. She's going to get the good ending. It felt more like that. So yeah, not a great movie.
All right. Ryder, you're up.
All right, I'll start with my subjective. Yeah, not gonna go out of my way to watch this again. It's probably my least favorite of the franchise so far. I'm gonna have to double check my ratings and everything else at some point. So potentially able to change. Because there's Halloween towns that are bad, but I think looking at them now, they're probably more funny bad than this. So I might be moving some HalloweenTown ratings around come recap. But for right now, I've been bouncing between a 2 and a 3 subjectively. I'm probably gonna bounce on land on a 2 point. I'm gonna land on a 3, and a lot of that is just because I don't really hate the film. I just didn't enjoy myself, you know. Like you got to actively get me to start hating your film to get any lower, really. So I was just kind of numb to a lot of it. I didn't enjoy myself. I would probably watch the first 3 in a marathon, maybe, but I would forget about this one, rightfully so. Objectively, world building's a mess. The spells are not consistent with themselves. They're They have teleporting, as we've discussed. Spells are very easily tied to the plot. The plot's a mess. The plan that the villains come up with are supposed to drive the plot forward. There's easy ways to fix it. There's easy ways to infer around it. They don't utilize their established world and the council or anything else. They're introducing characters that have long histories with the Cromwells, even though we're the fourth movie in the franchise and it's just relevant now. So world building isn't really well set up or well thought out. So yeah, those two are a mess. Can't wait to talk about characters. Sinister Sisters, they're archetypes. Thumbs up. They don't really do anything terribly wrong. They do their job. Ethan also I think is okay. Pretty intact as far as the film is concerned. Gwen, broken as a character. Dylan has some damage flung into him, but not. I wouldn't go as far as he's broken. Marnie is fundamentally a different character and is broken. The sinister wizards are all super intelligent as the plot needs them to be, and all really, really dumb when the plot needs them to be. So I would argue broken. There's not much in terms of writing to really put this film above water. Don't think it's quite a 1. Not everything is fundamentally broken, but I'm balancing between a 2 and a 3, and I think I'm gonna settle on a 2.5 for now. Might change.
After rewatching the last 3 movies.
Yeah. So some high scores in this one. I will go next. I will go with my subjective.
Of course you go next.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not gonna opt out. Leave it a mystery. I'll go with my subjective. It's a movie I'm fine seeing. There is still nostalgia strings attached to this, even though it is not great. I have it at a 4. I don't hate it. I don't like it though. It's tolerable. There's a reason why it typically gets skipped in a marathon. It's just not worth the effort or the time.
Hey,
But
writer,
it's not.
just to put it in, writer, just to give you a translation on what that means. Crimson has this on the same level as Hook.
Hook is an
The
overrated
silence is
movie.
deafening. Hallelujah, Springs. That just got flung back in your face.
No,
You
it's
chose
not a
the wrong
4.
example.
It's not a 4 for me, mind you. But
That was awesome. Anyways, back to the subject.
I can. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Springs. I can hear the stunned
you're not.
silence.
So good. Yeah, this would definitely be more enjoyable with original Marnie, whose name escapes me, something Brown, but she is Marnie. I don't think anyone else could play Marnie. So that's where I'm at. 4. I was considering a 3.5, but that gets into just not liking it, and I don't not like it. It's just it exists. Objectively, what's there to say? There's a lot of issues. We brought up lighting issues, continuity issues. Acting is on average to bad across the board. The story it's pretty abysmal. The Dominion as a threat is severely incompetent. The magic power scaling, not just in this film but as a franchise, is abhorrent. It's It's a mess. I mean, it's been well established since the beginning of this podcast that I hold high scrutiny to magic systems, and this is an abomination. They trample on everything. In terms of consistency, the time travel, it's not too complex. We had a whole talk on what type of time travel, and I view it as an issue. I don't think it's an oh shoot, we haven't established our was issue or problem the highest.
Don't know yet.
Okay, I don't think it's. I'll put problem as highest, issue underneath it. I'll consider it an issue. So that's where I'm putting primarily the pumpkin thing that we talked about so heavily. I think some of the worst things about this is not adhering to what's been established before, and not even being consistent with retcons either. Like the council doesn't exist in the first two. We talked about that in the third one, but now it is set up. The third film set up the council of HalloweenTown. The council is absent, not even referenced, nothing. That's an issue. Cal is still missing after the second film. No presence. The level system, also created in the previous film, is not referenced at the magic school. Doesn't make sense. The genetic makeup on spells, not referenced beforehand, and not really utilized here, except now it damages the past films, because now it exists. Gwen has been heavily damaged with how she utilizes magic. She goes from no magic ever in the first film to now using magic in front of muggles, people, humans, whatever, brazenly. No care in the world. Totally fundamentally against her as a character. Aggie, she's hardly in this as Aggie, and she's been damaged.
I forgot to add Aggie onto my list. She enslaves monsters. That's such a
she's
fucking
now. Yes, she enslaved the monsters. And a question that I thought up while you guys were doing the review is, why isn't she the ruler anymore? They didn't explain that, did they?
I don't think so.
No.
So that's something that's absent, and it's now that we are established that she was the ruler of HalloweenTown at some point. Now the past films are kind of weird that no one acknowledges that she's royalty or anything. We know that the residents know of her from the first film. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, Aggie," but nothing to the level of like she's royalty or used to rule the town. So that's now off.
Well, hang on. Splendora did. No one knows who Aggie is. Name change.
Yeah, but I imagine she looked the same on the progression of aging. Unless she purposefully aged herself up to not look like Splendora, which would be an interesting angle if that's something they wanted to do. The communication stuff I talked about, where now there's all these other forms of, you can use a toilet, a fountain, soup, holograms from across space and time, I suppose. And the devil's advocate of being now the portal is permanently open. But that doesn't work with the soup one, because she's using communication across time in that one, not just the human world and the HalloweenTown world. So it's all over the board. There's not a lot of positives. The costume set design is the best aspect of it. And that's what's really holding it up. I'm really deciding how this stacks with the previous film, because HalloweenTown High was one of my lowest objective films we've covered on the podcast. And I gave it a 2.5, HalloweenTown High. And I feel like this is worse, but I don't feel like it's a 2. I'm going to match HalloweenTown High. I'm giving it a 2.5. It might be a bit harsh because it's not complete utter trash, but I might have overly bashed HalloweenTown High. I might have to review our coverage on that one. And that's it.
Whew,
That's
all right.
HalloweenTown High and HalloweenTown as a whole, as of now. I do know Marnie, the actress, the original actress for Marnie, wants to come back to HalloweenTown High, or HalloweenTown as a franchise. So maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. Don't know. But as of now, this is it. This is where we're at. So
We're at the end.
anything else before Ryder? Finally, Ryder, I was unsure how you would feel about the recast because you've always stated that you never really liked Marnie. So I didn't know if this change up would have improved her or not.
It didn't. I think she's maybe prettier, but that doesn't really change anything about the character.
All right. Anything else for Ryder takes us out?
You will not see a recap on Monday.
Stay tuned for the rest of the season.
Something like that. The only additional note I want to add on is I haven't seen Hook in like 20 years, so.
Right, no caveat. Stand your ground.
Yeah, hey,
There's a
listen.
caveat.
Yeah, that is my caveat. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening, audience. Whether it be Spotify, Amazon, Castbox, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, Podcast, and Samsung, and you happen to be on our visual side of things, be it YouTube or Rumble. Thank you for watching our PNG slideshow there. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe everywhere. Tell us how much you hate our opinions or how much you love them. And as always, I've been a Geeky Writer.
I'm Crimson Maroon.
And I'm Springs.
And we will catch you next time. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Toodaloo.